I don't need this. Do I need this? Yeah. Am I floating? I'm floating on top of it. What the hell? Okay, hold on. What the hell? Okay. Grab this. Switch this out. Pull this down. Right there. There we go. Oh. Okay. Let's do this again. I'll just put me over here. Fuck it. Okay, and then we're gonna grab this. Okay. Or leave it back in the sky. I'm gonna grab this. Grab the TV and put it over here. There we go. I try to make it as big as possible so people can see it. So you can't say I didn't try to put the effort. Make it super small for like no reason. Okay, good enough. Okay, there we go. Now over here. Go to Instagram. Okay. Oh, damn. Wait a minute. Wait a second. I hope I did not. Yo, I swear to God, if I did, I'm gonna be so mad. Let's see. Yeah.
The story of musician Joyce Chu is not too different than that of most other pop singer-songwriters in the last 20 years. She began uploading videos to YouTube while she was in school and was eventually noticed by a record producer known as Namewee, who then promptly signed her to his label Red People. Namewee began working with Chu to build up her career and turn her into the next big Mandarin language pop star. They began by releasing the song Malaysia Cabor, which would be an instant hit in Joyce's native country of Malaysia. But it wasn't until mid-2015 when Joyce Chu would truly become an internationally recognized pop star among the greater Chinese diaspora, which happened when she released her song, I Miss You, which currently has 65 million views on YouTube. On the surface, this song and video seems pretty standard fare for Chinese pop music. The song consists of Chu singing a catchy melody over the sounds of her ukulele, which the video depicts her playing in many different locations around South and East Asia. But while this video may seem sunny, positive, and lighthearted, there's a disturbing secret hiding in one of these scenes. When looking at the comments on this video, you'll notice that despite the general popularity of this song, most commenters seem to be talking about something completely unrelated to the music. Everybody seems to be pointing out something that happens at 1 minute and 42 seconds into this video.
Okay.
And if we look at the YouTube timeline highlighter, you'll notice that the most replayed section of the video is that one particular timestamp.
Actually, you know what? I'll have it play through my mic. I think it won't cause no trouble. Let me see.
Let's see what's going on. pay close attention to the following clip. Did you catch it? Let me play it again. In the distant background of this scene, we can see what appears to be a person tumbling off of a building. It's only on screen for a second, but it's also irrefutably clear. This is the shape of a person falling. The fact that this is in a professionally produced pop music video is very strange. It would seem nobody noticed what looks like an act of self-annihilation happening on screen. But while the people involved in making the video might not have noticed, fans definitely did. And after this music video came out, the only discussion about it online seemed to be revolved around this disturbing scene. But as viewers began researching to try to find out what might have been caught on camera here, things only became stranger.
What's up, Cole? It's your best buddy, Farrell. As you know, I'm a huge advocate for data privacy, and I was just Googling your name.
On your behalf. Thank you to police saying themselves on your behalf. Thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. It didn't take long for online sleuths to figure out that this scene was filmed in front of the Red Theater in Taipei, the capital city of Taiwan. But when they started to look for recorded acts of self-destruction that might have happened near this building around the time that the music video was made, researchers came up empty-handed, with even the Taipei police saying themselves there were no recorded cases that could have happened in that spot. And not only that, you see, when looking at the street view of this area, you'll notice something that really throws a wrench in this story. In the video, after the figure tumbles off the building, it falls in front of this billboard. But while the perspective of the sign in the video might make you think it's attached to the building, the street view shows you that it's actually pretty far in front of it. This means the figure must have fallen off of something else off screen. Some people have theorized that this isn't a person at all, and it's merely some other object falling from the sky, and the perspective from the camera merely makes it look like a person. But I don't think this is the case. If you analyze the footage closely, you'll not only see that the figure is very obviously human-shaped, but it also very clearly tumbles off of the building, with its foot hooking a bit on the edge and causing the figure to flip over in midair. But it would be impossible for a person to fall off of the building and pass in front of the hair sign,
Okay, but
which
that
can
but
only lead to one.
but what? Wait. But if that's the case, if the person and their life description, the point is like, was there a body? Because no matter how much you keep saying how much someone dropped off, you gotta say if there was a body, because someone's gonna eventually notice there's a body over there somewhere, right? Like maintenance, something. I don't think that's a body. I think that's an inanimate object. Did it make news? Was it on the headline news? Like, was the person missing in that area? The people who live over there in that building or work over there? No one noticed at all that someone went missing who probably is over there that's registered over there? Like, come on. I don't think that's a real thing. Unless there's more information to this, because that doesn't make any sense.
Number 1 says first.
Hey, what's up, noob? So, like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. How is it a person, but no one noticed that the person over there? And if they're shooting, don't they have like a permit for like certain scenes where people should not be in those areas? If so, that must be someone who is like on staff with the production company, with the production team. If not, then someone must have noticed someone went missing. That doesn't make sense. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to fix something real quick. I'm sorry. Where am I? Okay, make this a bit smaller. There we go. For the sake of Gunther, I didn't like him being cut off like that. Okay, so yeah, I don't know about this one. Hey, Danny.
Conclusion. Namely, Chu's record producer has commented on this controversy. He said that he did notice the person falling in an early cut of the video, and he actually went to the Red Theater himself to check the scene in person. He wanted to cut the scene out entirely, thinking it could be bad luck to include something like this in a music video, but ultimately chose to keep it in anyways, for some reason. The only logical conclusion here is that Namewee was doing a little trolling, and that this body falling was CGI that was intentionally added to the video to drum up publicity from the controversy.
It was CGI? Are you serious?
It's a very strange and arguably disrespectful thing to do, but it's the only way this story makes any sense. This body very obviously couldn't have fallen the way it did in the video in real life. It must have been added in post-production. If you want to make this even darker, start to think about the subject matter of the song itself. While the rest of the video is upbeat and happy, the lyrics don't really match it. The song is about desperately missing somebody you love. In some ways, adding a person falling from a building as a dark contrast to the rest of the sunny video actually somewhat matches the same disconnect that exists between the song's cheerful tone with its sad lyrics. I don't think we'll ever get a concrete explanation to what happened here. I don't think Name Me or Joyce Chu will ever come out and admit that they purposely added something like this to a music video, and we can ultimately only speculate why somebody spent their time realistically animating a man falling off a building in this scene. I do think it was just to drum up a buzz in the press, but if you guys have an alternate theory, please let me know. I'd be curious to hear it. Ni hao. Welcome to Horrors on the Chinese Internet. I've been really wanting to make this video for a long time, but I kept putting it off because the sheer scale of it was a little intimidating. Not only is China just a huge topic in general, possibly the biggest topic if we're just talking about a single country, but it also has some of the most unique relationships with the internet in general. Well, in the past, we've talked about Russia and the Arab world. Those societies use the same internet that we use here in the West. They're using the same platforms we do. And if they do have their own platforms, like VK in Russia, for example, they still work more or less like their Western equivalents. China, though, has its own internet. That's not an exaggeration. China's made a very conscious effort to isolate its population from the outside internet. Most of the platforms we use here in the West are outright banned in the country. And even when we do use a Chinese social media platform here in the West, China will still maintain a separate Chinese version of the same platform. Like how Douyin is completely isolated from TikTok despite being almost the exact same app. The explanations behind these sorts of relationships China has with the internet and media in general will be very long and political, and I don't really want to talk about politics at all in this video. What I want to focus on today are the scary and disturbing parts of the internet regular Chinese people have experienced, and how they relate to the dark and unsettling corners of our internet. Well, the first topic we just discussed was more focused around the Chinese diaspora and not so much people using the internet inside the country of China. The next couple of topics are going to focus on stuff that's happened specifically on Chinese platforms. So without further ado, let's dive a little deeper into the horrors lurking on the Chinese internet. Like we just talked about, China more or less has its own internet complete with its own social media platforms, some of which have a Western equivalent and some of which don't. For example, Douyin and TikTok are basically the same app. Xiaohongshu, or as you may know it, RedNote, is pretty much the closest thing you can get to Instagram in China. Weibo is a platform that works a lot like Twitter, but for YouTube, there's not really a single Chinese equivalent. At least not one that has the same sort of massive presence YouTube has in the rest of the world. The platform Youku used to work much like YouTube, but in the 2010s, they began to shift away from user-uploaded content, and now they only offer professionally produced TV shows and movies. Youku nowadays is most similar to Hulu in the States. The closest thing you can really get to YouTube nowadays in China is Bilibili. Although, like I said, it doesn't have the same sort of popularity that YouTube has. If we compare Bilibili to Douyin, for example, China's most popular video sharing platform, it has almost 3 times less users, whereas in the rest of the world, YouTube is almost twice as popular as TikTok. Bilibili in China is seen more as a platform for younger people who are into anime, video games, technology. Imagine if you were to cut out everything except for the more geeky niches out of YouTube. You might end up with something like Bilibili. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that while the Chinese government may restrict what platforms are available in their own country, you can actually access many Chinese platforms here in the West. Although
the video that's on top of the screen is a topic about horrors on the internet when it comes to China, like those internet horrific myths. So he's gonna tell us if they're real or not. Like the one we was watching earlier. I don't know if you just came in, but it was one with someone who fell off. It looked like someone fell off a building in the back of a music video. Apparently, it wasn't even real. It was either a CGI individual or an inanimate object that fell off a building. That was not even a person, but it looked like a person. So stuff like that, like interesting internet myths that might be true or might not be true. So that's what that is.
Experiences can be limited in some ways. When you load up Bilibili for the first time, you are indeed greeted with what seems to be a nerdier Chinese version of YouTube. The platform tends to ask you pretty often to log in, which you can actually do in the West if you're willing to give them your phone number, but then you need to solve this CAPTCHA which is completely in Mandarin. It took me a while to figure out, but you basically just need to put the characters in the right order. I was then given the ability to make an account if I gave them photos of my government-issued ID, which I'm definitely not gonna do, so we're just gonna have to put up with these annoying interruptions that don't go away with an ad blocker asking us to log in every few minutes. Of course, being a YouTuber, the first thing I thought to check was to see if anyone else had uploaded my videos to Bilibili. And indeed, a few of them have been translated to Chinese and uploaded to the platform. It's pretty surreal to see bootleg Mandarin versions of my videos getting tens of thousands of views on a platform I had no idea about. It's not just me either. Many of my peers have also been mirrored on Bilibili, like Chilling Scares and Nexpo. They even have translated versions of XQC's reactions to Nexpo videos, which is so absurd it's bordering on parody. Now you're probably wondering what sort of genuinely Chinese internet horror people on Bilibili are watching. Well, it's actually harder to find than you might think. You see, horror has been labeled as quote-unquote bad pop culture by the Chinese government, and there's been an active effort for the last 6 years to censor and remove horror content from Chinese social media platforms. This has very obviously affected the sort of horror stuff you see on a platform like Bilibili, which appears to be a lot more light-hearted and silly than the sort of spooky stuff you can find on the Western internet. If you haven't heard of the Uncanny Brothers, they're a series of short-form videos made by Crows Bros on the Western internet, revolving around two uncanny-looking individuals and the slasher movie hijinks they get up to. It's a pretty popular little web series here in the West, and apparently it is in China as well. People have made tutorials on how to do makeup with the Uncanny Brothers, and there's countless parodies and cosplay videos on Bilibili. These makeup tutorials in particular I find pretty interesting. They all seem to have little short horror clips at the end. I almost wonder if this is a way for people to sneak horror content onto a Chinese social media platform without technically breaking the rules. The Uncanny Brothers
hold up, they're not allowed to put like horror stuff on the Chinese app? Well, they are pretty superstitious individuals, so... I guess that makes sense. I don't say the word religion won't be the right word, but superstitious I can say that much.
Being lighthearted, and most internet horror I can find on Bilibili seems to be like that, and a lot of it is also very over the top in a particularly Chinese way. I'm not sure if it's a cultural thing or if it's because of the government's censorship efforts, but in any event, the scariest online horror fiction you're gonna find in Bilibili are translations of Western content. With that being said though, there are still dark and disturbing corners on Chinese social media. They just happen to revolve around things that are real. There's a group of Chinese internet mystery sleuths that have put together this huge and well-organized iceberg cataloging the unsettling things you can find on the Chinese internet, which has been invaluable for researching this video. It's also where I first came across our next topic. Before talking about it, we're gonna watch the whole video.
What the hell? Why are these people walking in secretly? What the hell? Okay, thank you. We're gonna play Peek after this.
In this video, we can see what appears to be a group of people slowly creeping along the side of a highway in the middle of the night. The group is in a single file line, and only takes a step forward every second or so. Everybody is dressed eerily normal, as if they were plucked out of their regular lives and placed into this bizarre situation. Iceberg.
No one cares on Instagram. Oh, that was fast. That was fast.
This incident is referred to as the highway corpse video, which may imply that these people are dead, and indeed, the description written by the original uploader says that this is a group of people on an expressway in Yangzhou pretending to be ghosts in the early morning. This clip was originally put up on the platform Weibo, which we previously talked about. It's the Chinese version of Twitter and one of the most popular social media platforms in the country. While scrolling through the uploader's profile to learn more information, I realized that this is just a page dedicated to sharing interesting videos about cars and driving made by other users, which makes me think that this isn't the original upload of this video. Searching for the description on Google yields no information at all, and this was also the point in the making of this video where I realized that Google is basically going to be useless for research today. We're going to have to go over to the Chinese version of Google, Baidu. Searching the description on Baidu points us
Hello.
much more in the right direction. I found a different Weibo account that posted the same clip a few days earlier, as well as a second video of the same phenomenon.
What the hell? So are they just walking in synchronization? Is that what that is? Is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be creepy? I don't see that as creepy. It's just kind of like whatever.
Again, we see a group of people slowly sauntering down the side of a highway in the dark. This clip is both longer than the first one and brighter, seemingly taken along a much more well-lit stretch of road. It only highlights how strange this situation is. A completely normal-looking group of people appearing to be in some sort of trance, all marching in unison to this bizarre soundtrack. At one point, the woman in yellow at the back of the group briefly looks at the person filming, but then immediately returns to whatever it is the group is doing. As I watched these two clips more, I realized something that made this whole situation even weirder. This is not the same group of people. When you look at just who's marching in which order, you'll notice that the two clips seem to have completely different people in them. Yet both groups are doing this slow march to this unsettling mantra.
Maybe it's just a trend.
Sorry guys, Editor Farrell here. I know I just said that these are two separate groups of people, but I'm not actually so sure anymore. Of course, at the very last minute, I noticed that there is somebody who could be in both videos. This person who has a shirt sticking out from under their sweater. They do appear to be in both videos, and I think it's possible some people standing around them might be in both videos
I like
as
the
well.
high action.
So
I'll go with Dan.
I can't really say with 100% confidence anymore that these are, in fact, two separate groups of people depicted in both of these videos.
But I do like.
I think this could be the same group of people at different points in the night, and they've had people change order, and maybe some people have joined and left. I don't know. I feel like this is a more plausible theory, so yeah, just want to put that out there.
I decided to do an image back search on both videos. Again, Google was useless here, but Baidu did give me quite a bit of results. Basically, all of these are just re-uploads of the same two videos on different corners of the Chinese internet,
Yeah,
except for this page.
but that's not creepy.
This is an article made only a couple months after the two highway videos were taken, and it discusses factory workers that had to walk along a highway for 100 kilometers to get back to their hometown, supposedly due to strict COVID restrictions that prevented them from using any form of transportation. There's no video here, but this picture does look eerily similar to the two highway videos. The reverse image search also led me to this group of pictures on Douyin, which are documenting the same group of factory workers walking to their home villages, through muddy terrain, wet fields, under fences, and also along the side of a highway. Picture 21 of the slideshow looks very similar to the highway corpse videos. I think this factory worker theory is a plausible one, except for one thing: the sound in these videos. The people in these clips are marching in time to some weird cadence call. It doesn't make sense that a group of workers who are just trying to get home will be marching in time to an eerie chant like this. But there is a second explanation to this whole thing that does take that little detail into account. As intriguing as it may be to think that there's some supernatural or nefarious explanation to the highway corpse video, one commenter on the Weibo re-upload seems to have a more realistic theory. They say that this is likely a group of people practicing Theravada Buddhism, which is the oldest branch of the religion. The people that adhere to these beliefs sometimes practice something called walking meditation, which involves a very slow and deliberate pace of marching while chanting either the Buddha's name or some other mantra. It's fairly possible these two groups of people were doing some weird group walking meditation. Maybe they didn't start out at night or on the highway, but according to this commenter, sometimes this ritual can go on for several days and cover huge distances. So it's believable that maybe this group started out doing walking meditation in the city during the day, but it went much longer than expected and they ended up in this bizarre situation. Another clue that makes me believe this theory is the sound they're marching to. It seems to be a few words repeated over and over again, which definitely seems to be a mantra of some kind. Maybe it's an unorthodox version of walking meditation, but this video definitely seems to depict some version of it, and I can't think of a better way to explain these eerie videos. Let me know if you have your own theory though. I always find you guys in the comments are great at clearing up any doubts I may have with my own theories. These videos seem creepy on the surface, and even though they're still technically unresolved, the most likely explanation clears up a lot of the eeriness surrounding them. This next video though, I don't think it's going to be quite that simple.
No, I don't do that anymore.
I'm going to warn you, the following topic is definitely one of the more disturbing things I've covered in this channel.
Can't, cause
If you have a weak stomach or are sensitive to real life atrocities, You may want to hit the right key on your keyboard or tap the right side of your screen until you see my face pop up again. That's how you'll know this section is done. Alright, let's just get into it. There's something oddly alluring about abandoned buildings. Places that once served a purpose, but now stand still, lifeless, and slowly rotting away. Exploring such places is always a thrilling experience. You get the feeling that you're doing something wrong. You're trespassing onto a space that was never intended for you. But at the same time, there's nobody to stop you from being in a place that's been cast away by everybody that once owned or occupied it. This also creates a feeling of lawlessness, like you're exiting polite and orderly society and stepping foot onto one of these properties. And who knows who or what you might come across. One such explorer of abandoned places is known on Douyin as Dubao Tanshin, or in English, Beanbag Adventure. His profile is dedicated to recording his experiences exploring abandoned factories and apartment buildings in China and elsewhere in Eastern Asia. At one point, his profile was deleted following a set of videos he uploaded that caused a major stir on the Chinese internet. He did eventually get his account reinstated, but without the series of videos that resulted in the deletion. What exactly were in these videos that caused such a big controversy? Luckily, they've all been archived, and we're about to go through them. The first video starts with Dubao explaining to us that he's currently in an underground laboratory, and that he's going to show us something in this vat that only people with a strong stomach should look at. And he's not joking about that. What Dubao Tanshin is going to show us is probably the worst thing you could imagine. Obviously, I'm not going to show you this on YouTube, but inside this vat,
I swear to God, if that's a sewer, bro, if that's a sewer, I swear to God,
is what our cameraman calls movie props floating in a pool of dang steady water. Props or not, whatever we're looking at resembles the decayed bodies of many children. Again, Dubao goes on about how these are just movie props, but then he also says that this video will be censored.
It's called... What's it called? It's called... Hold up. Fuck. It's called...
Farrell McGuire.
Farrell McGuire. Hold on, I got the idea. Yeah, I think. Actually, I'm gonna switch the sound to the thing because no one does this shit on Instagram.
All understand why, and pay attention to the details. I'm not gonna say much, which may imply he's only saying these are props so his video doesn't get taken down. After showing us this horrifying scene, he immediately begins gagging.
Alright, do something.
This could also be just because the place smelled horrible, even if the bodies weren't real, but we can't say for sure. This video is incredibly disturbing, but in February 2022 when it was uploaded, it didn't really create that much of a stir on the Chinese internet. But that would change at the end of 2022 when Dubao Tanshin would return to the building for a second exploration.
Why a second one?
While the first video followed the format of other Douyin videos with obnoxious music and editing, this one's a lot more toned down and barely has any editing at all, which makes it feel like a more legitimate exploration. It starts with Dubao showing us the path that leads to the vat, which is in a claustrophobic concrete tunnel complete with a layer of stagnant standing water in the ground. He comes across what appears to be children's clothes on the floor in several places, and of course, he then shows us the vat. You might be wondering why it was this video in particular that caused a stir online and not really the last one. You see, when the last video was uploaded, many people thought it was fake and that the bodies really were just props of some kind. But in Dubao's second video, we can see the same bodies, but in a much further state of decay. Sure, somebody could have went to a lot of effort to make fake bodies in various states of decay for a Douyin account with a small audience, but according to Occam's Razor, these bodies are likely real. In his next video, Dubao starts by showing us the exterior of the building that's hiding the underground lab. It appears to be long abandoned and slowly being reclaimed by nature.
100年的老医院，楼的外墙已经爬满爬山虎。这个医院一共有3栋楼，看医院的建筑风格，应该是60、70年代的产物。来吧，随着我镜头进入内部，瞧上一瞧。
We eventually walk in the front door, and the above-ground floors of this building appear to be just as decrepit as the basement. He shows us what's on the floor, which appears to be mostly garbage, but also the occasional set of bones. That's
The
about all we
occasional
see in
set
this
of
video.
bones,
We
like,
don't
that's just
actually
normal.
revisit the vat underground. In the final video, we return to the underground area for a disturbing new revelation to cap off this horrible saga.
The way he said that.
Dubao does more of the same and
occasional
shows us
bones,
things
you
he's
know,
finding
it
on
is
the
what it
ground,
is.
which occasionally includes what seems to be human bones. But then he finds something much more disturbing. He finds a stick of incense that looks like it was recently burned, meaning that somebody else has been in this lab very recently. Incense in Chinese culture can mean many things.
Prayer.
Like in many other societies,
Is it a form
it's
of
often
prayer?
used in religious ceremonies in China.
Uh-huh.
And indeed, the Hong Kong-based YouTuber Mill Milk also seems to think that this particular usage of incense signified some sort of religious worship. This is basically all the information about this particular location we would get from Dubao Tanshin. Shortly after these videos became somewhat of a controversy in the Chinese internet, his Douyin account would mysteriously vanish, only for it to come back a few months later, this time without the videos from the underground lab. He would never again talk about the situation. This is definitely one of the craziest situations to
I'm
come out of
pretty
the
sure the
internet in
authorities got
general,
to him.
not just in China. As a result, this quickly spread to the West, and the investigation into this strange lab and the horrors it contained went global. Redditors had all sorts of theories. Maybe this was the remnant bodies from some Chinese organ harvesting operation, or maybe this was a dumping ground for a Chinese serial killer. On the Chinese internet though, people had a slightly different theory. On Tiebe, the closest thing to Reddit in China, people are talking about plasticizer factories, which is something you might not be familiar with here in the West, but don't worry, we're gonna go over it in a second. Obviously, Chinese people are gonna have a better sense of context for a mystery that's happening in their own backyard, but there is one Redditor that's probably done more research into this situation than anybody else has, and their thoughts are fairly in line with the conclusions Chinese internet sleuths were coming up with as well. Here's their theory. In the 1990s, a German scientist known as Günther von Hagens was looking for a way to better preserve human remains.
Why?
Through his research, he developed a technique called plastination. This involves removing the water and fat in a
Plastination.
corpse and replacing them with different kinds of plastics, which yields a body that doesn't decay or smell. Plastination would go on to revolutionize anatomical models for medical education, giving schools the ability to keep a single cadaver to study for basically an unlimited period of time. Hagens had bigger plans though. He would eventually go on to organize a very famous series of public exhibitions around the world that you've likely heard of before. Body Worlds. These exhibits feature real human remains posed in striking ways for people to ogle at.
Are you serious?
It's definitely a morbidly fascinating idea, but while Hagens and his team try to urge the public that all the bodies on display were people who had given their consent to have their corpses used in a for-profit museum, this wasn't always the case, and Body Worlds has endured
That
many
sounds
controversies
horrible.
over the years about their possibly unethically sourced cadavers, usually from places with looser human rights records, like Russia, Kyrgyzstan, or China. The underground lab for Dubao's videos is allegedly somewhere in the Jilin province of China. Just a few kilometers south of here, in the city of Dalian in the 1990s, Günther von Hagens would have a chance meeting with Bo Jilai, the mayor of Dalian. Günther had been working as a professor in the Dalian University, and he had also opened up his second plastination factory in the city as well. You see, Body Worlds is a huge company. By 2006,
How?
Hagens had made around 200
How?
million
That's
in the
weird.
business.
Wait,
This
how?
was a
How? How is... What? Oh, God. Oh, God. Are you serious? We humans, we got fucking problems. We got some weird issues, bro. What the hell?
a huge opportunity for people who had access to corpses, like Bo Jilai. It's widely believed that Bo Jilai was allegedly supplying Günther von Hagens with the bodies of executed Falun Gong practitioners, a religious organization that was being heavily persecuted in China at the time. This is just an allegation without any substantiated proof, but what is proven is that Hagen's plastination factory in Dalian had been processing bodies they were receiving from unknown sources.
Unknown sources.
A lot of pressure would eventually mount on Higgins for this practice, to the degree where he stopped working with human corpses altogether in China, instead focusing his efforts in the country on animal cadavers. But Gunter's legacy would endure in the region, with several of his former employees going on to start their own businesses revolving around plastination, most of which are still operating in the area today.
What?
Many of these businesses operate with the same shady practices Hagen's company had in the past.
What?
And in China, they're known as corpse farms. Both this Redditor and the users on Tieba seem to think that this underground lab is hiding the leftover remains of some corpse farm. The liquid the bodies are floating in doesn't actually appear to be water, but rather a solution called formalin, a chemical used in the plastination process. Several of the other things Dubal comes across in the lab also suggest that it's connected to a corpse farm as well, like preserved body parts in jars. The Redditor goes on to say that while corpse farming is an incredibly lucrative operation in China, demand likely greatly slowed during COVID, but the corpses likely came in at an even greater rate than usual, and as a result, some were likely placed in this formalin solution to either keep them for later, or to just dispose of in a way that won't attract maggots and bacteria and create stenches that will be hard to get rid of. In any event, these bodies seem to have been forgotten about. They'll never get a proper burial or funeral. They'll just lay there slowly fading away in a chemical solution in some underground bunker in the middle of China. Alright, that was a little heavier than the things we normally talk about on this channel. I hope our next topic will be somewhat of a palate cleanser. We're about to uncover something new in a 20-year-old internet mystery revolving around a video game that's been passed around both the Chinese and Western internet.
Okay.
When it comes to first-person shooter games, I don't think any time period yielded as many formative masterpieces as the mid-2000s. Between 2004 and 2007, gamers will be blessed with revered classics like Half-Life 2, Halo 3, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Counter-Strike Source, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, BioShock, Team Fortress 2. I could keep going on forever, but the point is, this was a truly magical time for first-person shooter games. Many of these titles were not just good, they were innovative and would greatly influence the future direction of the genre. There's a reason why there's such a large difference between 1999's Perfect Dark and 2010's Call of Duty Black Ops. In the same way, there was a major difference between pop music bands at the beginning of the 1960s and the end of the 1960s. First-person shooters just had a puberty-level growth period in the mid-2000s. There is one game though that released during this formative time that is just as good as the others on this list, but seems to be much more under the radar for whatever reason. One that was truly innovative and ahead of its time, yet it's never had a modern port beyond a minor PC redistribution in the original game. 2005's Fear. To say Fear was ahead of its time is an understatement. It's a game that still feels innovative even 20 years later. The story revolves around a military group that's tasked with investigating supernatural phenomena. The game is heavily inspired by Japanese horror, which was also experiencing a heyday in the mid-2000s. The graphics are cutting edge and more resembles games released in the early 2010s despite being made in 2005. The physics were also quite ahead of their time, with enemies ragdolling around upon being shot. Speaking of enemies, the enemy AI is probably what Fear is most well known for. In most games, foes will just more or less try to shoot you, but in Fear, the enemy AI can work as a group and plan tactically how to best prevent you from finishing the level. They can coordinate with one another to lay down suppressive fire to keep you in a corner, while another enemy flanks you from the side. If you're advancing too much, they'll fall back and take a deeper position. If you manage to flank them while they're in their cover, they'll scatter and find cover elsewhere. This system was incredibly ahead of its time in 2005, and honestly, games don't have AI this good even 20 years later. It's not so much a technical achievement as it was the amount of work and dedication the developers poured into making the best enemy AI system possible.
I'll never get that again.
I could gush about this game forever, but this section actually revolves around something that's inside of Fear, specifically in the end credits. When you beat the game, before the credits roll, you're shown the following line of text.
What was that sound?
This line of text occupies your screen for a good 5 seconds before anyone else is given credit. You would expect this person to be someone who is important to the development of the game, or maybe the loved one of that person. In any event, I'm sure the developers behind Fear have clarified at some point just who their game is dedicated to, right? Well, no. Wenqi Li has never been identified. As far back as 2005, people on the internet have been speculating just who Wenqi Li might be. Maybe they were a developer that died during the making of the game, but their only credit in the project is the dedication. There is one theory floating around posted by various Chinese social media users talking about how Li Wenqi, which is Wenqi Li Mandarin, was actually an escaped hostage that was being held in some secret laboratory that was experimenting on women to speed up the pregnancy process so China could create child soldiers. I did a bunch of
Is that
research on
true?
both the
That's
Western
not
and Chinese
true.
internet, and I couldn't find any evidence of this, so I'm just gonna guess that this was made up.
Yeah,
The
that
two
don't
theories
sound
I've
true
seen
at all.
online
What
as
the
to who
hell?
Wenqi Li is are as follows. The first one is that this is a fake dedication written to cause a stir among gamers, and possibly create a buzz surrounding the game. I don't think this is the case. 2005 was a very different time. People weren't nearly as chronically online as they are now, and these sorts of mysteries just didn't really matter as much back then. Having a fake dedication at the end of a game in 2005 wasn't going to do anything for the marketing of Fear, and I mean it didn't. This series of games almost lost to time, and it's long overdue for a remaster on modern consoles that's probably never going to materialize despite how great the first game is. The second theory is that Wenqi Li is a loved one of a dev that passed away. This makes much more sense, but again, there hasn't been any clarification from the devs themselves, so it's just a theory. Or maybe it's something more. On July 19th, 2024, a random Steam user would comment on a 10-year-old Steam community post talking about the legend of Wenqi Li, saying that Wenqi Li was the father of one of the artists working on Fear, and that he died during the development of the game. This Steam user is from Russia, and they kind of don't think they were actually working on Fear, but Steve Lee definitely was. He was a senior artist working on the game, and in fact, his name shows up almost immediately after the dedication in the end credits. Despite how common of a last name Lee is, I don't think it's a coincidence that one of the most important people working on the game happens to share a surname with the person the game is dedicated to. What throws a cog in this investigation is that the Steve Lee credited in Fear doesn't seem to have any online presence, at least not one that I can find. There is another Steve Lee that is a level designer and even has a YouTube channel, but this is a different Steve Lee that just so happens to be also working in game development. They have different Moby Game pages, and our Steve Lee is an artist who began working well before the level designer Steve Lee. The last project listed on our Steve's Moby Games page is Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor in 2014, and that wasn't even really a credit, it was just a special thanks. There's a LinkedIn listed at the bottom of the page, but it's a dead link that hasn't been archived anywhere. It would appear that Steve Lee retired at some point and just isn't online, which makes it much harder to track him down. I do think that Wenqi Li was a relative of Steve Lee. It's a little frustrating to be so close to solving this mystery and having to stop mere inches from the finish line, but hey, that's life. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're still watching at the end, that means you either left it on and weren't paying attention, or you just genuinely liked it, in which case you should definitely subscribe to—
Oh my god, I was too consumed with what I was doing anyway to fucking care, but like, eh. I don't know, that was boring. I thought it was gonna be something kind of, you know.
As someone who's been a big fan of Tyler the Creator for some time, I've noticed a slow shift in his attitude towards music and his fans forming over time. But I think with this new album, Don't Tap the Glass, Tyler the Creator is entering a whole new era that will change both the direction of his career and even hip-hop itself. So to understand why this album is so impactful and that I'm not just exaggerating, we gotta look a little bit deeper into it. About a week ago, Tyler the Creator started teasing something on his Instagram, with multiple random pictures that all had the same date, July 21st. Then at a concert on the 18th, he sort of announced his next album, Don't Tap the Glass.
Brooklyn. Don't tap the glass. And I hope you find your way home. Thank you.
There's also this art installation outside of the show. At the time, fans weren't quite sure what all of this meant. Some theorized it was a new album, which Tyler shortly after confirmed on his Instagram. He also posted this weird series of what I guess you could call instructions, where he said, 1. Body movement, no sitting still. 2. only speak in glory, leave your baggage at home. And 3, don't tap the glass. Following a few more Instagram posts and a listening party on the 20th, his unconventional 3-day rollout was complete, and on the morning of the 21st, his new album, Don't Tap the Glass, was released. For years, Tyler, the Creator, has always done these thematic sort of albums, whether it be the Wolf trilogy with similar or the same characters showing up throughout the album series, or the extremely personal and introspective themes on Flower Boy, the super conceptual Igor, or the very celebratory Call Me If You Get Lost. Every album has had some sort of theme or concept, which is why when Tyler was about to release this new project, Don't Tap the Glass, he said, "Y'all better get them expectations and hopes down. This ain't no concept, nothing." I saw people joking about, like, I've never seen someone de-hype their album, but there was a reason Tyler said this. And that's because when the album dropped, it was a 28-minute long, 10-track, relatively short, fun project with a sound that is a bit different from anything he's ever put out. It's safe to say the album was not what everyone was expecting when he announced it, but the album's meaning actually targets a subset of Tyler fans that he's targeted before. On the intro track, Big Po, Tyler says, "You sneak photos, get your hands chopped. You weird as fuck, I said stop." And this actually plays into the name of the album, Don't Tap the Glass. Right as the album was about to drop, Tyler tweeted out a statement that reads, "I asked some friends why they don't dance in public, and some said because of the fear of being filmed. I thought, damn, a natural form of expression and a certain connection they have with music is now a goat. It made me wonder how much of our human spirit got killed because of the fear of being a meme, all for having a good time. I just got back from the listening party for this album, and man, it was one of the greatest nights of my life. 300 people, no phones allowed, no cameras, just speakers and a sweatbox. Everyone was dancing, moving, expressing, sweating. It was truly beautiful." Tyler explores this idea deeper on his Chromacopia album single Noid, where the entire premise of the song is about his frustrations with weird fans and cameras. On this song, he says things like, "No cameras out, please, I want to eat in peace. Don't want to take pictures with you guys, nervous system is shook, way before 19. Ain't no respect for nothing, voice recording our discussions." Clearly, this whole idea of not tapping the glass or not taking cameras out or recording him in public or other people is very important to Tyler, and it makes perfect sense. I mean, one time I saw this video, and I can't find it for this one, but it was some fan recording him at a restaurant, and he just kept looking at him like that, and it just seemed so awkward, and like he knew they were recording. It was a whole weird thing, and I can totally understand why he's frustrated with people always having their cameras out.
Tyler, ASAP. How many Diddy parties? Tyler, how many Diddy parties? Hey, I will hit y'all niggas and win the lawsuit.
So his level of fame,
He said, "I'll hit y'all and win the lawsuit."
I can guarantee he's tired of it. But one line that really stuck out to me on this album also addresses a certain type of his fans and audience, and that's when he said on the title track, "People said I lost touch with the regular folks. I ain't never been regular, you people are jokes." This line, in my opinion, is much deeper than it seems, and that's because it speaks to something very important in Tyler's career. Throughout Tyler's entire career, he's been viewed as this funny, down-to-earth, relatable guy. He's even got his own funny moments compilations because of how many goofy videos this guy's made.
Fuck you! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you! Drive off. Keep your mouth shut. I'll whoop your ass. Your girlfriend look like my mom.
That's iconic to this day. Your girlfriend looks like my mom. That shit funny. That shit funny.
Now, I'm not saying that he's not funny anymore, he's not down to earth anymore, but Tyler does seem a little bit more reclusive than he used to be.
I was walking down the street, walked in a restaurant, and this guy stopped me, and he said, "Oh, you're the guy from Ridiculousness."
What?
And I was like, "Yeah." He gave me that, "Man, hell yeah, you're so funny on there, man. That's sick. Like, hope to see more of that." And he walked off, and I'm like, "Dude, I just wrote a whole string section for like, and like no one knows me. Okay, cool. And then I deleted my Vine and deleted all my funny videos off my Instagram. And I said, I need to spend a year and a half not being funny. Like not letting that be the forefront. Still be goofy with my friends, jokes, right? But like, it's a disconnect. And then people walking up like, your girlfriend looks like my mom. And I'm like, bro, I said that when I was like 12. Like, damn, they know that more than
my music.
a lyric or this and that.
Yeah.
I love music too much, and I put that first in my real life.
Fans have seen Tyler's entire childhood and grown up with him, which definitely leads to a bit of a parasocial relationship, which is why he's expressed discomfort with that on songs like Noise. But it's also led them to expect Tyler to act a certain type of way. They expect him to be funny, they expect his music to sound a certain way, and they also expect him to follow the same sort of formula with his releases, which is why I think Tyler's made such a strong point to address this as of late. The shift, in my opinion, began after Call Me If You Get Lost. Ever since the release of Bastard in 2009, Tyler had been releasing albums on a 2-year cycle. But after Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler seemed done with that. Call Me If You Get Lost was what some referred to as a vanity project, or a victory lap, or maybe even a celebration. Tyler had just won a Grammy with Igor and was now one of the biggest rappers in the world. So on that new album, he was talking about all of his success, his wealth, and opportunities as one of hip-hop's new top dogs.
With that being said, though, this record is also a massive flex. He's just such a different person now than he was in 2011, and his success has essentially become his narrative. But you can't really say he hasn't taken full advantage of that. Between his albums, his work with other artists, his festival, his clothing line, and while Tyler has been critical of braggadocious rappers in the past, at least he waited until his ducks were in the neatest and longest of rows.
After doing his victory lap on this album, Tyler decided to change up his routine that he had kept up for the past decade. Rather than releasing a new album in 2023, he sort of scrapped the album cycle and released a deluxe to Call Me If You Get Lost. Some fans were upset that they weren't getting a whole new concept, but regardless, Tyler in a sense broke his pattern and put out this project. And I think this was very pivotal in his career. In the music video for one of the songs, Sorry Not Sorry, you can see Tyler standing next to all of his different characters from each era. The Flower Boy, Goblin, Cherry Bomb, Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost, Bastard, and then Shirtless Tyler, which, as we can see in the video, just means himself in his truest form. Throughout the video, he kills off each alter ego that he's created, except Bastard and Goblin, which might have some weird meaning. I don't know the answer to that. Regardless, all that's left at the end of the video is Tyler himself. No more characters and no more concepts. And I think this is a much more important thing than fans may realize. Ever since the release of The Estate Sale, Tyler has broken all of the rules that fans have imposed on him or expect of him when it comes to releases. He broke the every
that's just the chat.
He announced Chromacopia in 2024.
That's just
the
the
album
chat.
did sort of have a character that represented it and a concept, it's more so representative.
I think it's kind of
Tyler
glitched
himself.
though. I'm not
He
sure.
even said the mask that this
I'm about to
character was
finish
wearing
up.
was just a mask molded off of his face. I like how the genius annotator put it by saying, though Tyler dons a new visual aesthetic with Chromacopia, the album doesn't introduce a character or persona, but rather a symbolic manifestation of who Tyler is. Given so, Tyler addresses far deeper issues with this album, which include expressing fears of fatherhood and discussing the impact of materialism. Also on this album, he talks about things like being afraid of getting old and seeing your loved ones get old as well and die and things like that. It's a very personal album.
Call Me If You Get Lost had folks hitting me like, bruh, this shit hard, nigga. I just bought a Ferrari because of this. I just did this. And like, as a fan of rap music, and you love that type of shit. It's beautiful, but this one is hitting a different pocket. If I'm not trying to make songs to relate to folk, I'm just telling niggas, yeah, today I woke up, made some eggs, and been wearing a hat.
Yeah, I said that on streaming. I restarted because
this has nothing to do with y'all.
of the
Everything is
reaction
self-indulgent
thing that's
to me.
going on.
And people are like, yeah, me too. I'm like, the fuck?
This is one of Tyler's most introspective albums, with all the characters or concepts being dead. And that's why, for his latest album, Don't Tap the Glass, he rolled it out in 3 days and told fans to leave their expectations at the door. With this latest project, it seems like Tyler isn't limiting himself anymore or trying to build a world with every album. Sometimes he may just want to make a fun, dancey, vibey album, one that's short and sweet and that he can just drop on a whim. One of my friends even said that this album just seemed like a fun idea idea that he just had to make and get out of his head, not some big concept like everything else. Tyler even said in regards to a page comparing this album and Chromacopia, "Y'all gotta stop doing this. Everyone though. It hasn't been 10 hours. Just let it be what it is. A fun, short, upbeat, urgent, braggadocious album to a diary post about abortion and hair and aging and whatever else I was crying about. Please just let it rock if you rock with it, and if you don't, then move the damn on, LOL." Tyler is clearly done trying to make every single album a concept masterpiece, and is just doing whatever he wants at this point. Hence why he killed off all the characters and it was just him left in the Sorry Not Sorry music video. And he is most definitely in the position to do this. So sure, Don't Tap the Glass marks a major change in Tyler's career. It shows that he's done playing into fans' expectations and can go into any direction he wants to and is not going to limit himself. But does it really even signify a change for hip-hop as a whole, like I said? Well, I think it sort of does. Lately, in interviews and just in general, it seems as if Tyler has been positioning himself to be the next Kanye or Pharrell or something along those lines. After 2 Grammy-winning albums in a row, selling 300,000 units first week on his 8th studio album, which is his best first week sales ever, and releasing a fun project in an unconventional way, it seems like Tyler has an unbridled level of confidence. And Tyler has always been confident, don't get me wrong, but now he's most definitely in a position to do quite literally whatever he wants with his music.
In short, if he is as confident as he comes off. Right? And I'd ask that because I was kind of joking, like, are you always like this? Like, do you ever have any fears? Do you ever have any jitters? Do you ever have any anxieties? And what was your answer?
For the most part, no.
Still, like, when has there been a time where you looked at your creative work and you felt cringe about it? Have you ever experienced the cringe?
No. Even my old stuff that I'm like not, because I got famous off of my teenage rough drafts. So like I got on at 18 and this is just us around, talented, but like, you know, you say crazy to make your friends laugh and this and that. And that's what propelled my career.
I mean, Tyler even did a remix of Kendrick Lamar's Hey Now called That Guy, where he's just flexing, talking about how he is that guy. Now, this part's a little bit more opinionated, but I feel like there's been a little bit of a void left by Kanye, you know, going crazy and off the rails and not really dropping good music anymore. And it seems like Tyler might be the next person to take that spot. Now, I'm not saying that Tyler is Kanye level quite yet, but he's very confident. He's been working with the greats and has had an album run with very different sounds that have all been very successful. And if that doesn't sound like Kanye, I don't know what does. Tyler has his own clothing brand and a lot of cultural influence. Not quite on the level of Kanye yet, but with Kanye not being really on the top anymore, it really does seem like Tyler could take that spot. Tyler, the Creator, has always associated himself with the top-of-the-line artists like Pharrell, Kanye, and others. But recently, he featured clips in his music video.
Right? You're not wrong. You're not wrong to point that out, Mike. The fact that you even said that, not only that you're paying attention, that's amazing. Because like, I didn't think of that till you said it, but it does make sense. It does kind of sound weird when a professional says that. That is kind of weird. Yeah, it was good.
For Stop Playing With Me, as well as LeBron James. The reason this is
LeBron
important
James.
is because following the Kendrick and Drake beef, the hip-hop community has been very divided. Pusha T in particular has had issues with Travis Scott just because Travis was playing the fence with the beef. Push claimed that Travis showed him and Pharrell the song Meltdown without Drake's verse from his album Utopia, and that song ended up being a Pharrell diss.
Travis Scott, he came through.
Oh, hey, hon. Just to let you know, we're gonna play Peak in 20 minutes. So if that's something that's up your alley, we're gonna play some Peak. If you don't know what Peak is, it's just like repo, but difference is we're not trying to take items and go to a goal. We're trying to climb up a mountain. We did that yesterday, and that was really fun and funny. So it's gonna be me and Mike. Hopefully Bean will join us, but if she doesn't, well, she can't say I never try to ask her. Mike, actually, just to get it ahead of time, can you ask Bean if she's available? Or at least try to get a hold of her. If she doesn't respond, then tough luck.
Utopia, briefcase.
Right. Yep.
You know, doing his whole promotional spiel for his album.
Yep.
He comes, he interrupts the session. The next day, the verse, the meltdown verse, or whatever comes on.
I melt down the chains that I bought from your boss. Give a fuck about all of that heritage shit.
Drake on Travis Scott
talking about
melting
P,
Pharrell's jewelry.
and all of that. And I'm just like, man, you know, that was a corny Like you shouldn't have been here anyway.
If you knew you had what
Yeah,
you knew.
no,
All right,
yeah.
thanks, bud.
You didn't have to be here anyway.
And it makes sense that after how much support
We're gonna
Tyler
play
has
on
shown
YouTube and
Kendrick,
only
how
YouTube.
loyal he is to Pharrell, and his friendship with Clips, it makes total sense that he wouldn't be a fan of Drake these days. On top of that, people have theorized for years that Tyler and Drake have had beef. Ever since Tyler the Creator said on his track Lumberjack back in 2021, hit Drizzy and told him I had a milli for him, some fans have actually thought that this was a diss against Drake, and that's because he had this strange relationship at the time with a very young Millie Bobby Brown, who's the actor from Stranger Things. Of course, this also could have been related to Drake's appearance at Camp Flog Gnaw, where he was booed off stage, but some people think that Drake's booking fee is $1 million, which could be possible. Also, Pusha T, one of the members of Clips, has an extensive history with Drake, and they had that iconic beef where Pusha T revealed that Drake had a son, so clearly him and Drake are not fond of each other either. LeBron James has also been very heavy into Not Like Us and Team Kendrick, which might not seem like a big deal, but to Drake this is a very big deal. And he's been very vocal that he's upset that LeBron James has switched up on him. So with Tyler featuring LeBron in this new music video alongside Clips, it's very possible that he's no longer the biggest Drake fan. Believe it or not, the Drake versus Kendrick beef got so contentious that even just associating with either artist in the ways that Tyler has been recently could bring some sort of heat from the other side's fans. And most definitely, Tyler the Creator has been on the receiving end of that lately. He showed a lot of support to Kendrick at his pop-out show, reposted his songs, showed up at his tour, and things along those lines. So because of this, it seems like Tyler
I'm gonna finish up in a
like
second, but like we're about to go do
one side of
some
rap than the other side, which is most definitely gonna
I
change
hope
the
so
landscape
too.
of hip hop for years
Can't
to come.
say I don't
as
put
things
the effort
seem to
to
be a lot
add
more
her,
divided now
and
than
I've
they
been
used to
home
be.
for a good few days. I even said in the chat that we're gonna be playing Peak today. So I can't say don't let her know.
Before Tyler even released this most recent album,
This is why I'm glad we didn't do the podcast
God
then.
Sort Him Out. And it was on the track POV that he said, "Little feature, people threaten to sue me. Tell your lawyer to set the fee." Now, some people theorize that this was about Drake because of his most recent lawsuit against UMG and Kendrick Lamar. And like I said, Tyler's made it pretty clear that he is Team Kendrick/West Coast. However, it seemed to apparently be about Playboy Cardi, especially since Tyler tweeted saying, "An old friend
having
I've
some
made
fun,
music with
enjoying life
threatened
so
to sue
far,
me
I
over a
think.
feature they gave me, so y'all don't run with the narrative." Given the fact that Drake has never featured on a Tyler song, it led most fans to believe that this was about Playboy Cardi's feature on Chromacopia. On Tyler the Creator's previous studio album, Chromacopia, the vinyl release actually featured a Playboy Cardi verse that the official album
Just to let
release
everyone
did
know,
not.
the reason why I listen to this stuff isn't because I care about hip hop or music stuff. It's the safest thing I can play that people can kind of recognize without them saying some crazy R word insane nonsense. So I don't put myself at risk of getting banned. So this is why this is the most safest, less edgiest thing we can watch and listen to without getting in too much trouble. And it's transformative to a degree, so there you go. Plus I can pause it, and then it's also flipped at the same time, making it a bit more transformative than it is. So as that scene is totally just me just reacting and just listening.
Not have. At the time, fans were theorizing that Cardi or his label decided to not clear the feature last minute, but because the records were already pressed and ready to be shipped, they couldn't just remove the feature from the physical copy. That's why when Tyler said this, rumors started floating around that Cardi's team had sent Tyler a cease and desist for this feature. Now, none of this is officially confirmed, and all of these sources that are promoting this idea have not gotten it from
the reaction box I'm talking about.
It does seem like the most likely situation, especially because of how poor Cardi and his team have handled features and even his own releases in general. It most definitely could have been about someone else, but this does seem like the most likely situation. Ironically enough though, things like this have caused issues between Tyler and his speculating fans, which shine through clearly in his tweets like the one I just mentioned. This division among rap fans has definitely affected Tyler to some extent. I think I've seen more hate of his last two albums than there has been for a while, at least since like Cherry Bomb.
As long as Tyler the
Can't
Creator
answer
don't have
that
the
one.
album next week, I'm cool. Why?
I like to keep it ambiguous as much as possible.
It's been 3 hours. It's been 3 hours of trash. Really? That shit is not it.
I'm just a
As of late, his
chibi.
defense
That's
of
all
his
I am.
comments and interviews has left some fans calling him pretentious or acting like he's better than everyone else, which in my opinion seems like it's going to lead to him being a little bit more of a controversial artist over time than he has been these last couple of years. However, I don't think that's going to stop him at all from achieving his massive goals. Like I said though, the reason that all of this is important is because the hip-hop landscape is becoming much more divided and people are picking sides of different artists ever since the Drake-Kendrick beef. And regardless of all the beefs, clearly the top dogs of hip-hop are divided themselves. And we're
See, the thing is, the things I talk about, the things I listen to, and then the way I speak and how I speak throws people off. They don't know what race I am, and it makes it fun because it keeps the perspective pretty ambiguous, so it doesn't feel like it's biased, which sometimes it could be. I won't lie. I am human.
You're starting to see Tyler aligning himself a lot more heavily with some of these kind of highbrow type of artists, if that's what you want to call them. And now that Tyler has finally decided to be more free with his music, whether it be concepts, release schedules, or characters, I could definitely see him moving like a Kanye or Pharrell sort of artist soon. Like, I'd love to see him producing a full album for other artists or just having more fun in general with the music. And I genuinely think that this might end up changing the hip-hop landscape for good. Or maybe I'm just reaching, who knows. At the very least, Tyler the Creator's latest album marks a major change in his personal career, and I do think it will end up changing hip-hop as a whole in the future. Anyways, if you like this video, you might like my video about how controversial Tyler the Creator used to be in the early stages of his career.
The pop's okay.
Very interesting stuff. Other
It's
than that, though, if you
okay.
enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe.
Okay, I think
for
we
more music-related
got
content.
everything.
It's been your boy Matty Balls, and I'll
Oh,
see you guys
this one. I gotta
next
get
time.
this. Hold on. Let me get this real quick. I thought you was white. I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought you was a white guy. When you told me, I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. It's like, well, infiltration. The infiltration. It's like, you know what? I like that. I like the ambiguousness. It makes things easy. Because even if you make like an insane racist joke, it's supposed to be funny. It may come off racist and probably mean. Like, it might come off mean or even racist, like, more than it should. But if it's funny, that's all that matters. That's the real point. It's not actually there to hurt. It's just to make fun of something. That's why when me and my chat is like, when we're talking to each other on regular chat and they say something crazy racist, I don't think it's not an intent, and I don't think they actually think that way. I think they're just trying to be funny. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't try to look into not this one. You'd be surprised. This one's not from Dragon Ball. Fantastic Four beating Superman. Ooh, let's hear about that.
Hey guys.
But yeah, I like the idea that we can be honest with one another. I think the more ambiguous you can be, the more honest you truly are. Because the less ambiguous you are, you won't really tell the truth because you don't want to get the backlash of something. That's why the internet is the way it is, because you're being more your true self on the internet because no one can technically see you. But you wouldn't do it if you wasn't around your family members, loved ones, your boss, whatever the case may be. So I think that's a good thing, but it can be also a bad thing. That can go bad as well, because the more you think you're anonymous, the more you think you're untouchable. The more you think you're untouchable, the more risks you'll take. The more risks you take, the more you might put yourself in a position that you can hurt yourself or someone. So this one right now is about... Hello. So this one is about Fantastic Four beating Superman, apparently. I did not see that one coming. I didn't think Fantastic Four would beat Superman in the box office so far, so... 2 models? What do you mean? Oh, my ghost? Yeah, that's Gunther. That's Gunther!
Guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Superman versus the Fantastic Four at the box office. James Gunn is super sad, I guess, that Superman is not doing that well internationally. And there's talk that Fantastic Four might actually beat Superman this weekend, which shocks me. I got to tell you, that I find that to be shocking. I honestly did not think Fantastic Four, well, one, I didn't think it was going to be that good.
I don't know how to
two,
do that. He was a gift that was given to me.
Marvel movies have not really been pulling their own weight lately, so I was kind of like, yeah, some of them might do like 100, 110 maybe. They're saying it's probably going to beat Superman.
To the positive, I just want to say
that
whether you like Superman, don't like it, whether you like Fantastic Four, don't like it.
He was a gift that was
There's
given to me. I was never...
very well
I never tried to do anything
superhero
with
movies
them.
out at the same time. So that's
I should,
like a
though.
win for nerddom.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me when I was a kid that this would happen, that we would have 2 big superhero movies at the same time, And yeah, I making all kinds of money. I wouldn't have believed you. I would have been like, because back then it was like you get a superhero movie like once every couple of years.
Yeah, and I remember like the media was trying to turn Captain Marvel and Alita, like, are pitting them against each other. And I remember saying then, isn't it a win because you have two strong female-led big blockbuster movies at the same time? You know, and they kept trying to pit them against each other, and I'm not going to pit anybody against each other here because I think it's a win for fans of comic books, movies, and superhero movies. There's no reason to pit them against each other. You can like one more than the other and like one not the other. That's completely fine. But you know, you know, for all that people complaining that when they were mad about Alita and Captain Marvel, if they get mad about this, then that makes them no different. You know, but I think it's kind of a win because you don't have to like both of them. You don't have to like, you know, you can like both of them. Whatever.
Money, I wouldn't have.
Oh, wait, that's
you don't
them.
Have to like both of them. You don't have. You expect it to.
I think.
Oh, okay, they did that. Okay, they did that. I was like, what the hell?
TV.com and check out some of our exclusive content over there. $5 a month. Get some podcasts and news you won't find over here. Opinions. We got lots of opinions. We're going to talk about this whole Fantastic Four versus Superman thing. We've done reviews for both. We've seen both. I think I speak for Geeky that we both like Fantastic Four more, surprisingly.
We did. But I will tell you, the more I think about Superman since I've seen it, I actually like it better in my head.
I don't know. This sounds kind of boring. I'm not going to lie. This doesn't sound that like something to listen to ish. Like you hear this in the background, but you're not. I want to pay attention to this, but it just feels kind of boring. Feels kind of boring. What if Doctor Doom had originally been the villain of the multiverse saga? No, I don't want Screen Crush. They talk too much, too long. They get too long. Famous YouTubers reacting to life sentences. Ah, that sounds interesting. Famous YouTubers going to life sentences?
This is the famous case of Ruby Frank, the mommy blogger turned criminal facing 4 counts of second-degree aggravated child abuse in Ivins, Utah. Since 2015, Frank had been running the YouTube channel 8 Passengers.
It's just
documenting the
boring.
lives of her husband, and their 6 children.
Come here, Russell. Can you say hello to our passengers? Hey. Are you mad?
Every moment of their lives was documented. Birthday parties, gymnastics practice, and even visits to the doctor.
Why? Why? Why would you record this? Why would you record going to the doctors? What the hell? God, people, this internet.
Slowly, the videos got more and more sinister.
Be excited to tell them where your name came from, even if you have to fake it.
Why?
Fake being happy.
Fake being happy. What?
Okay? I don't know if I can right now.
Now, with brand deals on the line, Frankie got angry when her children didn't consent to.
Oh, this dude looks like the actor from I Am Number 4. I know I'm kind of just putting myself out there saying that, but like, if you saw that movie, you know that movie. That movie bombed, but it could have been the next best thing, but I think that came out around the same time as Legion and Iron Man. I think Iron Man just came out around the same time as I Am Number 4. If anyone remembers seeing that, cool. If you don't, I don't blame you.
Being filmed.
And I have
one away.
Yes.
That's my homework.
Whoa.
Frankie prided herself on being a strict mom, but just how strict was too strict?
All of the discipline takes place off camera.
First, she kept the discipline private. Then things changed.
I'm only going to say it one more time, and then you're going to lose the privilege to eat dinner.
She withheld food and water from her kids, and sometimes even their beds.
Bro.
According to her kids, the cause of this change had a name, and that was Jody Hildebrand.
Oh no, this is not good.
I'm Jody Hildebrand. So glad you're with us.
At first, Jody was a therapist for one of the Frank children, but soon she became Frank's personal coach, and maybe something more. Jody moved in with the Frank family very quickly, and for Kevin, Frank's husband, something was very wrong.
The focus gradually shifted away from just solely on our children to us as a couple.
Slowly but surely, Jody drove a wedge between Kevin and Ruby.
She took control of something that was very, very important to me.
Soon afterward, the two women encouraged Kevin to move out of the house and focus on, quote, his addiction to selfishness. Kevin took their advice.
That I was choosing to trust a licensed professional mental health counselor and my wife, and they gave some terrible counsel.
Now, with the father out of the house, Ruby and Jody were free to parent the children as they wished.
Wait,
And months later,
what?
the world would discover just how bad the situation
What's happening? Wait, I'm so confused. What the fuck? Wait, let's back that up. What's happening? I am so confused. Who is this woman? Okay, go back.
At first, Jody was a therapist for one of the
Hildebrand, so glad you're with us.
At first, Jody was a therapist for one of the Frank children, but soon she became
therapist.
Frank's personal coach.
Personal
And maybe
coach.
Something more. Jody moved in with the Frank family very quickly, and for
What?
Kevin, Frank's husband, something was.
Okay, so she's the children's therapist. Somehow the therapist got very chummy with the mom to the point she became a personal therapist or coach, life coach probably, and she managed to get into the house by living with them. That's very weird. I have never heard, even rich people, I know some rich people may have a nanny that lives with them to take care of the kids, or even the cook, but like, I've never heard someone having a personal therapist live with them. That's a new one. What the fuck? Even if you're rich, I have never heard that. Has anyone heard that? I have never heard that. I have never heard of rich people having their personal therapist living in the house with them. That's... You have? Oh, I have never heard of that. That's a new one for me. I've heard the cook, the help, the nanny be living on the campus or on the estate. That's usually like very rich, big mansion ass like people who live like celebrities or so. I get that. So they don't have to make the commute every time back to work every time. I get that. Especially if they can afford it. And they usually pay them handsomely just being on it. So yeah. But I never heard a therapist being on the campus. That's a new one for me. I guess it's not out of the realms of that being a thing, but like I've just never heard that before. That's new to me. Oh my god. What the hell?
Very wrong.
The focus gradually shifted away from just solely on our children to us as a couple.
Slowly but surely, Jody drove a wedge between Kevin and Ruby.
She took control of something that was very, very important to me.
Soon afterward, the two women
Trust.
encouraged Kevin to move out of the house and focus on, quote, his addiction to selfishness.
What?
Kevin
Oh
took their
no.
advice.
She used her therapy. Uh-oh, she used her
To trust.
she used her occupation as a therapist to mind fuck this people. That's evil. See, this is why it's very important when you have a therapist or you're listening or you get a therapist, be very careful who you pick, because your therapist can be very good at not making you do anything, can gaslight or at least professionally get you to say or do things that you didn't really thought of doing, because they are a therapist, so that you think 9 times out of 10 they have your best interest or they're giving their best professional advice. It's like getting advice from like an accountant or someone who's really good with money. So you're gonna think, oh, you're good with money, so therefore whatever advice you're giving me must be for the best of my best benefit for me and for you. So therefore, so he probably ran with that because she probably said a bunch of therapeutical techniques and shit to gaslight these people to get into the house, much less, and then disarm them by moving the husband out. That's crazy.
A licensed professional mental health counselor.
This is dangerous.
And my wife. And they gave some terrible counsel.
Now, with the father out of the house, Ruby and Jody were free to parent the children as they wished.
She did what she
And
wanted.
months later,
got
the world would discover just how bad
statistically
the
speaking, if you get the father out of the house, hell breaks loose. But she did the typical thing. If you remove the father out of the house, bad things usually goes left. This bitch knows what she was doing. She went to she went to school. She know how statistically what she knew if the father was there. He had the voice of reason. So we have to remove that masculinely voice of reason out of the house. So she got him out of the house. Now she can control everything. Oh shit. Oh god. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Hi, how is this? Wondering if you could do 2 favors.
Oh shit.
This is Russell, Frankie's second youngest child.
Well, what are they?
Taking me to the nearest
Thanks for the
police
advice.
station. Well, actually, just one's fine.
Okay.
What's going on, son? Have a seat there.
It's personal business.
He appeared at his neighbor's house, malnourished and covered in wounds.
Wounds?
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he had just came from a neighbor's house. He's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs.
His wounds were so extensive that it drove the neighbors to tears.
Okay, this boy has been...
Oh shit. He's crying. Aww.
This kid has obviously been... I think he's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds. He says he...
Bro, sorry, crying. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. That's sad. The neighbor's crying. You know it's bad when you got the neighbor who's... I don't know if they ever interacted with each other before. Got him crying. You got bro crying. That's crazy. Oh, that's not good. That is beyond not good. That's not good. That's a bad sign. Even worse sign.
Minutes later, police arrived at the home where Jody and the Frank family lived.
Open the door! Jody? I need you to step out.
I have my turn.
That's great. Step out of the house.
No, I'm not gonna step out of the
Step
house.
out of the house. Step out of the house.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
We're just gonna see if anybody else. Is there anybody else home?
Wait a minute, how do you come in my house?
Right there.
The scene inside was eerie.
I'm a police officer. Are you going for the union here? Hey, you okay?
Oh no.
Is this you in here?
Oh,
I'm
God.
Sergeant Tobler. What's your name?
Yep, that's what you get.
I just have one. Where's your sister at? Contact one. You okay?
And I think they're allowed to even I think they're supposed to have a warrant, but I'm pretty sure they do because even if they have a warrant or don't have a warrant, they have evidence that this child is like, you know, abused. So they have pure evidence that something's going on at the house, so they have to get in there as fast as possible. So I think they're legally able to get in there at that point.
And unresponsive inside the bathroom closet.
Do you need help? I'm not gonna hurt you. Promise. See this right here? It's a badge. It tells me I don't hurt people. I'm just here to make sure you're okay. And I get you if you're scared.
This is so
I love
sad.
you too.
The child's situation brought even the most seasoned paramedics to tears.
Aww.
Meanwhile, another team of paramedics listened as Russell told them how he received his injuries. What they learned was gut-wrenching. Ruby and Jody would tie up the children so tight they got rope burns.
What?
Then they applied a honey and cayenne pepper mix to cover
What?
the wounds. After that, they would wrap the limb in saran wrap and duct tape. At
Bro.
the house, officers try a new tactic to gain the child's trust.
Bro, why would you do that?
They ordered her pizza.
No.
Suddenly, Ruby Frank arrived home. She was immediately placed under arrest.
You're going to jail, ma'am.
Perfect.
You're
But
going to
she
jail.
didn't say a word.
She is definitely not a talker.
She's not? Negative thing on.
Even if I ask her a name or just like, let me ask them about things, she looks at me and goes,
So they contacted someone who would talk, her ex-husband.
So we just spoke with your husband, and he said you guys have 6 kids.
When she finally opened up, it was only to say this.
I'll wait till I have the lawyer.
Oh
Jody
my
Hildebrand,
god.
however, was a lot more talkative.
So I trust my attorney.
Well, she is a therapist. I should know. I used to go for that in college. Yeah, we're talkative.
He said, "Don't say anything." And I said, "I have nothing to hide." And he's like, "I know that, but just let me be there with you when we talk."
Although they both chose to wait for their attorneys before speaking to police, they had no trouble divulging their secrets over a recorded jail phone call.
Adults have a really hard time understanding that children can be full of evil and what that takes to fight it.
Oh my god.
didn't matter that
Oh, they're full of evil, bro. We all know what that actually means. They're using religious reasons to get what they want, to do what they please. The kids didn't really do anything. If anything, they said something mean. Right now I ain't painting. I'm fixing up my sticker. Yeah, I'm working on my sticker for Redbubble, so I'll post this soon. Yeah.
Wouldn't confess, the police had more than enough evidence to put him away for life.
Both children had extensive physical injuries from the abuse that required hospitalization when they were found.
The women's lawyers knew it was a lost cause, so they took a shortcut. They pleaded guilty. With a guilty plea, the trial wouldn't face a jury, and the most gruesome evidence would never be released to the public.
Why?
On top of a guilty plea, Frank found another way to lower her sentence. She turned on Hildebrand. She claimed that she saw the light once she was separated from Hildebrand.
I saw the light now. I'm away from this therapeutic bitch. I'm sorry. I didn't mean this to my children. It was this therapist. She was telling me everything. She was talking in my ear. She was the conscious. She's the devil on my shoulder. It was her. Now I can hear the angel on my shoulder. Are you serious? You're going to jails, ma'am. And I hope you rot in hell. What the hell?
Down in tears and addressed her victims.
To my babies.
To my babies. Oh.
6 little chicks.
6 little chickies.
You were part of me.
Oh, yes.
But her children don't accept her apology.
I like how she called them chickies. I like she called them chickies, but she put cayenne pepper on their wounds. Trying to, season that little chicken. Let's go.
Apology.
She probably genuinely believed everything she said. I don't
Right?
believe it, though.
This is the moment Ruby Frank learned her fate.
Ms. Frankie served 4 counts, 4 1 to 15-year sentences based on her convictions for 4 counts of aggravated child abuse.
Each child abuse charge carries a possible sentence of 1 to 15 years, depending on the severity. The judge made
1 to
each of these
15.
charges consecutive, meaning Frank could serve up to 90 years in prison.
Nice!
Or as little as 4. Then it was time for her partner, Hildebrand, to learn her fate.
The court imposes.
She might get it worse because she's a professional. I think she's gonna get it much worse than her because she's a licensed professional and she knew a lot better than the mom per se. Even though the mother should take care of her children and have like the self-awareness, but because it's like a cop, right? Like if someone goes into a burning building when they was told not to, they might get charged for putting themselves into danger. But if you're like a cop and you told someone to run in there, knowing that you could do it and you're licensed, or say firefighter, say you're licensed to do that because you are a professional, you know what to do, it looks worse on you than the person who ran in there trying to help. Oh, fuck that. That's long gone. Once she's on there, it was gone. Once that malpractice already happened, it was instant almost. It's not even suspended. It is gone. She's already in court. It's gone. Those ethics is long gone. She knows she was violating ethics. She know this. That's why she needed to get into the house and separate the father. She knew what she was doing. She used statistical tactics to move the father out of the house. Once you move the father out of the house, it was done deal from that point. Now, I'm not saying the father's like a genius or anything, but if he's an idiot and he couldn't figure that out, then that's kind of on you at that point as a dad. You're an idiot. You should have kind of figured that out. You listen to a therapist, so you need to leave the house to work on your selfishness. Who is this, your wife? Is this your mom? Hell no. This is some licensed individual who's going to use their training upon you. They're like, what the hell? She doesn't have to be here. But then again, I'm pretty sure the wife brought her in. So
year sentences to be again served consecutively for each of the 4 counts of aggravated child abuse.
This was Hildebrandt's only response to her sentence.
And the children
Hello.
shall rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death. That statement right there is what's going on with me.
Hildebrandt's children will never be the same after what she did to them. But now what happens when a beloved pop star is outed for targeting 40 children?
A pop star?
This is Austin Jones, a YouTuber musician charged with receipt of child pornography in Chicago, Illinois.
That's
Jones
crazy.
gained his fame from singing covers of popular songs on YouTube in the mid-2010s. With his boy band voice and familiar hairstyle, Jones quickly gained...
Man, this hairstyle, it'll never go. Yo, this hairstyle was everywhere. A bunch of variants. I think I heard this one. This guy was a weirdo. This one's a weird one. He would ask his young, impressionable, he will ask his young, impressionable fans to do insane things for him.
A massive following, but fame brought out a dark side in Jones, and he only showed it to a few of his fans. While on tour, Jones exchanged messages with his young teenage fans, asking them to take sexually explicit videos of themselves and send them to him. When one fan refused him, this was his reply.
Hannah, I just actually really do think you're pretty, and I just wanted to make you feel special. And,
oh god, here we go.
I'm sorry you're mad at me.
The fan posted his reply publicly on social media, along with her entire story. Soon, other fans corroborated her story, exposing Facebook message chats in which Jones asked the children to take their undergarments off and spread, and to prove that they're his biggest fans.
That sounds like a cult leader. I know you're part of the clan or part of the cause if you do this insane thing that has nothing to do with the so-called cause that we're talking about. I just need you to spread eagle a little bit, bye. And then I know you're on the team. That's like I think at the time, I think he was in his 20s. I think he was in his early 20s at the time, if I remember right.
A total of 6 girls between 14 and 15 came to the police with explicit videos he forced them to share. But police found evidence of him attempting to entice over 30 girls. Jones was 25 at the time.
Dude.
As soon as his crimes were public, Jones canceled all remaining tour dates. After weeks of silence, Jones posted a new video to YouTube recounting his side of the story.
On that drive, the only thing I did was look at my phone and look at all the hate and death threats.
He says the hate combined with his diagnosis of depression led
Oh,
him
here
in
we
a
go.
downward spiral.
Here we go.
That entire ride home, I read those comments and I began researching different suicide methods.
His family noticed his mood and allegedly admitted him to a mental health clinic as soon as they got back to Chicago. According to Jones, all he could think about was getting out of the hospital and saying this to his fans.
I had no internet connection. I had no connection to social media.
That's probably the best thing for you, bro. That's probably the best thing for you. I'm just being honest, my dude. That is probably the best thing, hombre.
So I couldn't put out a statement. I wanted to apologize. I wanted to confront it immediately.
In the world of YouTube apology videos, his seemed oddly complete. At least it would have been if he hadn't blatantly lied. But just 5 minutes into the video, Jones launches into this tragic backstory. He claims his sister's death, among other traumatizing events, are the reason for his perverted actions.
Losing a sibling for anybody.
Oh, hell no! You're not doing this! You are not doing this! We are not doing this. We are not using the dead relative for the reason. No, you ain't Batman. We ain't doing this. We are not doing this. Hell no. You are full of shite, boy. What are you? What?
Tragic. And going through it at such a young age
Oh my
was
god.
very difficult for me.
So, wait, let me get this straight. So, dead relative equals, hey, I need you to spread one and, twerk a little bit and send it to me on Snapchat. Is that what you're telling me? Because my dead sibling passed away, so therefore you twerking is in their honor. Is that what that is? So it makes me feel and remember my dead sibling. Sir. Sir. What are we doing? What are we doing, sir?
Jones's life does have many tragic elements.
About a month after my father passed away,
what?
My grandfather passed away, and I was very close to my grandfather.
What does this have to do?
Is incredibly traumatic, but it can't excuse nor explain Jones's crimes. But wait, Jones isn't finished. He brings out his own poor mental health into this equation, touching on a sensitive subject that he's aware many of his fans struggle with as well.
Oh no.
After that happened,
here we go.
That's when I began self-harming.
Oh no, here we go.
I used to
No, we're not doing that. I'll let that sit a little bit. Self-harming. I feel so made up sometimes.
Then Jones launches into a predictable monologue.
A few months ago, I started going back to therapy.
Okay.
For this specific reason, because I regretted it so much.
The way you said that. The way you said that. I'm sorry.
I couldn't move past it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop feeling like absolute for what I had done.
The twerking?
But if you're thinking the video was unbelievable so far, just wait until you hear his closing plea.
That at least some of you will possibly forgive me. And if you don't forgive me, at least maybe give me a chance. Because I am so much better than the terrible decisions I made when I was desperate for attention.
Yeah, it doesn't...
I'm better than that. I'm a different person. I've completely changed from all of that.
In the few weeks since he was exposed, Jones swears he's a completely different person than the man who committed those crimes. But the law didn't care. Jones was tried on child pornography charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison.
YouTube star with a large teenage following is headed to prison.
Jones's audience was shocked to see their star stoop so low. But in Vitaly Zdorovetski's case, a pair of handcuffs were
oh, he deserves this. I mean, like, him and this one deserves this.
Overdue. This is Vitaly Zdorovetski, a Russian-American YouTuber who's facing charges of attempted theft, harassment, and unauthorized filming in Taguig City in the Philippines. Vitaly became famous on YouTube for his prank videos.
Man, move that out of here, man. Are you out of your mind?
At first, these pranks were harmless.
Bro.
Huh? What? What's up for? What?
But soon enough, each video was crazier than the last.
Those government issue
bracelets for his victims, they became straight up illegal.
Put your hands here. Check it out, see? I'm gonna put them in the front. Do you know me? Do I know you?
No.
Vitaly snuck onto the ground of the Hollywood sign in California, and he was gonna climb it. He continues to climb the sign, despite numerous warnings from police.
I'm sorry.
I don't know who's talking, but he sounds so unamused.
I'm coming down.
I don't know who's trying to get him down, but he sounds so unamused. He is not for this shit. He's like, listen, they don't pay me enough for this.
Gets hit with trespassing charges for this stunt. It cost him a $1,000 fine and a potential for 6 months of jail time, although his final sentence is undisclosed. But that's not the first time Vitaly's pranks got him into legal trouble, and it wouldn't be the last. During the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, Vitaly planned a prank that would go down in history. He became a streaker in multiple soccer, basketball, and baseball games. But he couldn't stop there.
I'm gonna go climb down because I think they're sending helicopters for me.
Next, he went to Egypt and climbed the Pyramid of Giza.
Absolutely breathtaking. This is incredible, guys.
The pyramid's sandy stones make climbing a potentially deadly task. No police officers could follow him up there.
I got it. I'm not gonna run.
As soon as he returned, Vitaly was thrown into an Egyptian jail.
This guy's an idiot.
He faced fines and a short jail time, but soon enough, he was back out. This time, though, he focused on a different target, the Philippines.
Bro,
He played.
bro, I think he's beyond. I think he's 40. I think bro is 40 if I remember right. I think bro is literally 40. I could be wrong, but I know he's pushing 40. Wait, let me check. Let me play it, but let me check.
Plays pranks on the people, causing a public disturbance.
I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No, okay.
In the Philippines, causing unjust vexation and alarm is actually a crime, and so is filming a police officer without consent.
I have a very important question for you. Can I shove this up your... What?
Oh wait, I'm wrong. He's 33. But to a lot of kids, that's 40. So that's like pretty much 50 in their head. Because when you hear the word 30, you're like, oh god, he's 40. Or he's 50 in their head. Like kids now, if you're 19, if you're in your teens, in your 20s, or early 20s or teens, and you hear the word 30, you think 40. Because that sounds really expensive, old to them. Which it is old, but yeah.
Can I put this in your...
But that's not all. Within days, Vitali's found and arrested. This time he wouldn't get out so easily. Neither the US nor Russia would accept his deportation, so Vitali had to go to trial in the Philippines. He faces up to 24 years in a Filipino prison.
24,
but he doesn't
bro.
seem worried. Vitali maybe crossed a line he couldn't uncross, and he lost his freedom and his followers. But now what happens when a famous influencer has a very public fall from grace?
Who's that?
This is the case of Nikita Nguyen.
Don't know what
who's
that is.
facing charges for disorderly conduct and felony battery on a peace officer in Miami, Florida.
I don't know who that is.
Hi, Dragons! What's up? It's Nikita, and welcome back to my channel.
Nguyen.
Wait. Are you trans? Are you a transformer? I don't know.
Who goes by Nikita Dragon on YouTube has more than 3.5 million subscribers. Since 2013, she had built her audience doing makeup tutorials and sharing about her life as a transgender woman. But for the most part, her
Autobots unite!
videos were teen-friendly. But every year, Nikita threw a birthday party that was a little more adult. In 2022, one of those parties got a little too wild. While on vacation in Miami, hotel security guards caught Nguyen ordering a drink at a hotel bar while completely nude. But when asked to put her outfit back on, she became belligerent and ran away.
Miami Beach Police, we need to talk to you. Open the door, please.
It took minutes of knocking before she finally opened the door.
I instantly got it when I heard the voice. I was like, wait.
Obviously not. They have to talk to you.
About the disturbance from earlier.
Oh my gosh.
And I understand you felt earlier, nothing happened. But we just came here to speak to you about your incident from earlier. You don't speak to me.
Uh-oh. What? Wait,
We
what?
want to let you know,
Yes?
as a collective,
Are you sorry?
I'm not sorry for anything.
Oh.
For you threw water on me, man. Alright.
You can't.
Then, seconds
What
later,
the hell?
Nikita opened the door again.
I tell you, that was a dude. They would have barged in and probably beat his ass. Not even gonna lie. Well, a dude. Yeah, I heard her in the voice. I was instantly, I was like, wait. Yeah.
If we get one more, don't do that. You're gonna go to jail if you do that.
If you get see what I'm saying? This is
Don't do that.
time,
Don't do
dog.
that.
Come on.
Are you serious? Why would you throw water on me? The fuck?
She was arrested.
Where did
for
you
battery
think?
on a
Where
police
did you
officer.
think throwing water on the police officer was gonna go wet? I don't know. The Westerners, I tell
Surprisingly, she
you.
didn't care about any of it, except this.
Let go of this.
Please.
Let go of this.
Say please.
Say please.
You're gonna escalate this.
No, I'm not. Let's go.
For absolute no reason.
Where's escalating?
She had her purse in her hands and would do anything to hold on to it.
Listen,
What's
Yes.
we're giving
a
you a
weapon?
lawful order.
Okay.
You are under arrest.
Okay, great.
We're asking you to let go of that.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not going to. Take it from me.
Okay. You understand that you're under arrest?
Yeah, that's fine. Take it from me.
But the situation quickly got uncomfortable.
Take the bag from the hand.
Don't do that.
I'm not. Okay, then take
Don't do that.
Okay.
There's no need for that. Don't do that. You do not have to do that. What are you doing?
Can you please let go of the bag?
When the role play didn't work, she tried another tactic.
The role play?
Make me ask somebody to smite your ass. But
Please don't do that.
quítate. Silencio.
So you're threatening
Leon.
police?
Silencio.
Up! 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 It's transforming.
Silencio. Silencio.
Things couldn't get more dramatic.
The voice got deeper.
Or could they?
Oh no. Oh, I fell.
Please get out.
No, oh my God, I fell. I think I'm gonna have to be carried.
Please get out.
Oh.
After that, Gwen
What?
is surprisingly compliant. The next time she opens her mouth, she said something the officers never thought they'd hear.
Wait, is this in a different country? Is this happening in a different country or this is in America? I can't tell. Did they say that? I don't think this is in a different country. I think this is a different country, but I'm not totally sure. Because everyone sounds like they kind of speak English pretty well. I don't know.
Okay.
Thank you guys for at least letting me get ready for my mugshot. Thank you.
While waiting to be processed at the station, Nikita gave the officers a free concert. She sang a song. And another.
Take me higher.
Oh my God.
I'm not scared of the flame.
And again.
Okay.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
And one more.
It just kept getting deeper as it goes. Did someone said holy shit in the background?
Then out of nowhere, Nikita goes off on the officer.
Why?
Damn girl, but not even in a good way. You're built like a brick.
At least mine is real.
Mine feels real and calm.
Yours is not real.
The officer's comeback was so brutal that Nikita immediately pulled the victim card.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Sorry, I was not paying attention. Sorry. Nope, they're not. This is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. I would not want to deal with it. This is why I can't be no cop.
At least mine is
I think I'll be one to draw the gun fast as possible.
real.
Mine feels real and calm.
My what? My something is gone? My what?
Like a brick.
At least mine is
Wait, what? Hold on.
Sir.
Damn girl,
Damn, girl,
but not
Damn, girl, you're not even in a good way. You feel like a brick.
in a good way. You're built like a brick.
at least mine is
Mine feels real and calm.
yours is not real.
The officer's comeback was so brutal that Nikita immediately pulled a victim card.
Oh shit.
So mean to a trans girl. I can't believe
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You're so mean to. We didn't even know. Just because your voice is a little deep doesn't mean we knew. But then again. There we go.
You're challenging my womanhood. Let's go. Down. You want to challenge my womanhood? Bitch, I don't even gotta get up out of here. What's up?
If anyone's feeling any invalidating, it's Nikita herself.
Oh my God.
Then she went right back to insults.
You're ugly. You're fat. Nobody wants you.
So far, Nikita has
Everything this individual is saying is a projection of themselves. Because I'm pretty sure the officer didn't say a damn thing to this individual like that. They just came back to what he said. Or they, or whatever the hell you want to call them.
sang, yelled, insulted, laughed, and even screamed at the officers. But here's one thing she hasn't done yet.
You tried a transgender girl.
This is, you know what, this crash out is no more equivalent to what's his name, FoozyTube? This is FoozyTube levels of crashing out. FoozyTube levels. Because only FoozyTube will crash out like this for like no reason. I think, yeah. And he crashes out in the most strangest of times.
Maybe go to the men's bathroom.
You walked right into the men's bathroom. Don't even. Don't switch anything because everything's on camera. You walked right in there.
Days later, during her bond
Oh
hearing,
my god.
Nikita showed a surprising change of heart.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the staff. They've been very lovely.
All right, let me.
Oh, it's that famous judge.
Write this out.
She was completely compliant with the judge's complaints, even thanking her for her work. But Nikita had one request for the judge.
Do I have to stay here in the men's unit still?
Why?
Yeah, I don't make the rules up there, but they should make a proper accommodation for you. You should be in a separate area.
Nguyen's disappointment was
Okay,
obvious.
this is the
but
thing I don't understand. People are gonna find this somewhat hateful to say, but I don't care. If you identify as the, you know, the T, isn't it best y'all just get your own, like, jail section? Wouldn't that be best? Wouldn't that just be best? Everyone's safer that way? I think that makes the best idea.
But she didn't have time to dwell on it. Nikita quickly paid
Or
her
like sports
$2,000
category, all that stuff. Wouldn't that be best?
bond and was released from jail.
Because remember, we don't put people who are in the disabled category with people who are who's in the enabled category. So isn't it just best to separate them like that? So you guys can do what you please?
All charges against her were eventually dropped. In our next case, an internet guru's dirty little secret will send 6 people to jail and scar another for life. This is Germán Abraham Loera Acosta.
When you say this, you're somehow evil towards them. You didn't tell them to go. You didn't tell them to go like break dance off the you know, the San Francisco Bridge. You told them just to be safe in their own section. But like they're still alive. They're still living their life. They can do whatever the fuck they want. But saying that is somehow a death sentence. I don't get it.
Mexico. Loera, just 23 years old, rose to fame as a motivational speaker and entrepreneur.
Mi nombre es Germán Loera. Soy emprendedor y quiero compartir contigo información que quizá te haga no volver a ver el mundo con los mismos ojos. Tenemos 2 opciones, morir o innovar.
He was invited to speak in conferences around the country and quickly became one of the top rising stars of his generation. However, that all came to a crash in 2018.
It'd be better. I just think that they'll be safe. No one's stopping them from doing what they want. They can compete. They can do what they want. They can, you know, even if they cause a crime, they're still safe amongst their own people who understands them, hopefully. Because if you all feel unsafe going with the one you identify with, and then the one you should identify with but you don't, and you feel unsafe on both ends of the spectrum, wouldn't it be best to, or feel uneasy, wouldn't it be best to be in your own section with each other who understands one another? The likelihood, it's like you're not gonna put a cat, right, in a kennel of dogs. Or let's not use a cat. You're not gonna put a baby chicken with a kennel of dogs, right? Well, they usually, I'm talking about the one who declares and like outspokenly, that individual is outspokenly and has no problem fighting with police, right? So if they have no problem fighting with police and they're biologically like them, the one he was fighting with, and he's like this with just police, just imagine he was with the women. So therefore, it was best to put him with the men. But if he doesn't want to be the men, but he identifies as a woman, but he's like acting like this with the men, how would he act like this with the women? So therefore, is it just best to put him in his own section by himself so he can't hurt the women or bully them, and he can't fight the men or get bullied? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's safe. The point is to keep him alive and keep that person. I keep saying him because they're gonna hate me for saying that because I'm gonna get flagged for that. Keep that person. Ugh, they're controlling my shit speech. Fuck y'all. Anyway, keep that individual in a box where they can be safe, so they can run out their sentence. That's what I'm saying. Jesus Christ. It's not that hard to like figure that one out, but like when you say this, somehow in their headcanon, you hate them. I don't know how that makes any fucking sense.
Loetta had secretly been leading an underground kidnapping ring on the streets of Chihuahua. He and 5 other men had kidnapped various women and held them for ransom. But on February 28, 2018, Loetta made a fatal mistake. 33-year-old lawyer Tanya Denise had just left for work when 2 men grabbed her and stuffed her into an SUV. Then they drove her to a house that was being rented under Loetta's name. Together,
like, trust me, I don't want nothing bad happen. I don't want nothing bad happen to anyone, whether I agree with them on a political spectrum or not. I don't want nothing bad happen to them, but I don't want other people be collateral damage because of their shit behavior. So the best way is to isolate them away from other people. Instead of put them with other people, they're either going to bully, like the women, or they're going to get bullied by the same men. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So keep them safe from both. Yeah.
Loetta and the men demanded over $2 million in Bitcoin for her safe return.
Bitcoin.
Loetta sent many encrypted messages to her family.
Wait. Is it one of those things where they use like a... Oh, wait, never mind. Like a fake voice AI thing?
Messages. The police were able to track down the hostage takers, free Denise, and finally put the delinquents behind bars. Loetta's friends and family were shocked when they found out about his part in the kidnapping.
Sigo sin creerlo, no puedo creer esto, lamento mucho este acto, de verdad.
He tells reporters that even though his friend had been MIA for 2 months, nothing in his behavior hinted at what he was about to do.
Sobre hacer las cosas bien, compartíamos sobre compartir cosas positivas a nuestros seguidores.
Due to a rise in kidnappings in Mexico over the past few decades, the Mexican authorities recently doubled the prison sentence for that crime, meaning Loetta was in for a nasty surprise. The judge sentenced Loetta and his goonies to 50 years each for the crime.
Damn! Damn! And there's 6 of them. Oh, God. 50 years? And all of them look like they hit 50 years. All of them look like they've seen 50 years already.
Loetta's actions were so dumb, they're almost unbelievable. But how dumb can a person be to think that they're smarter than an entire nation?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
This is Daniel
The
Sancho
human mind
Panchado,
has no bounds.
a Spanish YouTube chef who's charged with premeditated murder, concealing a corpse, and destruction of property.
Muy buenas disfrutones, bienvenidos un día más a mi canal.
Bronchalo got famous on YouTube thanks to his recipes, good looks, and, of course,
Damn.
his father, Rodolfo Sancho,
You're
a
probably not
famous
wrong about
European
that,
actor. In August of 2023, Sancho and his alleged lover, Edwin Arrieta Arteaga, flew to the tourist island of Koh Phangan in Thailand.
Oh, shit, they're on that.
During the trip, Sancho admits that he and Arrieta got into a fight.
To raise my voice, right? He took, and I stood up, and he took a few steps back.
Okay, a few steps back.
So let me guess, you guys got into an argument about some bullshit. You pushed him too hard. He hit his head at the back of the table or some stupidness, something hard. His head started bleeding. You didn't know what to do. He probably died of his injuries, and you hit his body. Something like that.
And I was like speaking to him like
louder,
heavy. I go boom.
Later, Sancho claimed that the fight began after he refused Arrieta's sexual advances.
He beat me and grabbed me. You know that? Grab me.
Grab you.
No, like grab me, and I was like, I take him all the way down here.
He slammed Arrieta's head against the counter, striking him at the very place where his spine meets his skull.
There we go. Typical movie shit. That's every, That's like every movie, TV show type shit when it was not even supposed to be murder. It was just a, well, he did punch him, but like I don't think the intent was to kill. It was to like, you know, move away. But then again, whether it's a push or a punch, it always ends up like this. And it's some older person usually who hits the thing, or some person. It doesn't have to be someone old. It could be just anybody. It could be a child. And hit their head on some hard surface where their spine or their head is, and it just broke the... Yeah, right? Yeah, we were just fighting by the alligator pit, and just he just so happens to fall in. Right? It's just like watching Forensics. Yeah, it's like, yeah, Sleeping with the Enemy. What is it called? Sleeping with the Enemy, Forensic Files, True Case, True Crimes, you know, type stuff.
Arietta immediately started to bleed out. After Arietta lost consciousness, Sancho dragged him to the shower to clean up the crime scene.
Why would you do that? Why don't you just... Wait. I think they're on the run. I forgot what they were doing. Why they're even together. I know they're kind of... I guess they're not... I don't know. Why didn't you just call the police? Get an ambulance.
And I started like the shower because there was a lot of blood coming out. I put the hottest water, the hot water, so it didn't coagulate and stick. You know?
Sancho claims the murder was an accident, but if this was an accident, why did he have trash bags and various weapons on the top bunk of their hotel room?
What? What? Bro, oh, crap. You have weapons in the trash? What? Man. Oh, God.
The bags. I bring the bags. I bring the hacksaw. I bring the machete.
From there, Sancho turned Arietta face down and began to dismember him. He loaded
What?
body parts into trash bags and dumped them at 7 different sites.
What? What? Why would you do that? Why? Why would you do... Bro, how is it an accident? You're dismembering him. Why are you doing this? Why would you do this? Oh my God.
Around the island. It's rumored that Sancho planned to commit the murder in Thailand because he believed their police force was less capable than the...
It's just... How does that make sense? Bro, how can you play this off as an accident when you going chopping them up? That's like me that's like me having a farm, right? And I ran in my backyard with my chickens, and I wasn't watching where I was going. I fall on said chicken on accident. No, this is an accident. I'm not watching where I was going. The chicken got in my way. He literally ran in my literal like path. I fall on chicken. Chicken gets crushed, but he's not, I don't know if it's dead. It's just it's really injured. You can obviously see it. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, instead of getting help for the chicken, I go and start cooking him and putting seasoning on, bro. I'm like, how is that even an accident at that point? You can't do this. What? You really think the police are gonna run with that?
The Spanish police force. But he was quick.
Bro, you was better off saying I tried to call the ambulance or something, or he threatened me or something. But like, well, that's not even good enough to dismember anyone. So there's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can say.
Wrong. After disposing the body parts, Sancho went to the nearest police station to report his friend missing. Little did he know, locals had already found the bags, and the police had been waiting for him. A judge deemed Sancho guilty of murder, dismemberment, and destruction of property. Because of his cooperation, the judge chose not to inflict the death penalty. Instead, he'll spend life inside of a Thai prison. Sancho heartlessly killed his lover with his bare hands. But in this next case, the killer uses quite an unusual weapon. This is Sarah Boone, charged with second-degree murder in Winter Park, Florida. Boone was in a relationship with 42-year-old Jorge Torres.
Yeah, but the difference with that is like, I think usually when the horse's legs are not working, they're pretty much useless at that point, right? I think I heard that name somewhere.
And according to police reports, both parties had been arrested for domestic.
That's more common to kill the horse off because his leg's not working compared to like a chicken that you fell onto, and he's not really like moving per se. Not saying he's dead, he's just really injured. And instead of like taking the chicken to your dad or your mom to help the chicken, because maybe this chicken still has his use, you go and take the chicken in the back, chop it up, and start frying them. I'm like, bro, what? Like that's see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Violence against each other.
Unlike a horse, if you have a horse like breaks his legs, you're gonna most likely gonna get killed off, because I think most cases, I think you can heal a horse legs, but I don't think it will be able to move the same way as it used to or something like that. They usually kill them off every time the horse legs kind of get fucked up.
Came to a head with this 911 call.
But kind of type C kind of thing. So I fell asleep and I woke up and he was dead in the suitcase. So I don't know what happened.
Boone called the police in a panic.
Yes, like he had like blood coming out of his mouth, and I don't know, like he had any aneurysm on one nothing.
This is what Boone claims happened.
We had a bottle of wine last night. Okay. So then it's like we decided to play hide and seek.
Yeah. But you know, I think it's very expensive to do that though. To like heal up the horse's legs to a degree. I think it's more expensive because I don't know, it's like a procedural thing, or depending. But then again, it's like they do this with racehorses. As soon as the racehorse can't run no more, or it gets injured or falls over, likelihood he's gonna get killed off. They can't deal with that.
Right. Okay. So he gets in the suitcase.
They're briefly interrupted, then continue their chat on the sidewalk.
And at some point, you put him in the suitcase?
No, he got in the suitcase. So he thought it would be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep.
What?
Upstairs.
What? So wait, your husband or whoever you're dealing with, you put into a suitcase. You zip him up. He's in there for about, because it kind of takes a couple of seconds to about a minute when people start freaking out being in a suitcase. It takes people a lot longer to fall asleep in a minute. I'm pretty sure there's people who can fall asleep in a minute, but I believe that's more rare than it is, because it takes people some time to literally, like, you know what I'm saying? But then again, it takes people a few seconds to about 30 seconds to a minute to start freaking out being inside a luggage, like a suitcase. Like, what? This is a grown man. What are you doing? Like, as the wife, can't you be the voice of reason and say, I am not putting my grown ass husband in a suitcase, even if he's joking? That does sound funny, but I'm not doing that. And even if you did do that, just put him in for the 30 seconds, 10 seconds, and let him out. I don't like, what the fuck? What, how did you fall asleep? You said upstairs, so he was downstairs? So you left him in there and went upstairs to go sleep all of a sudden? You just happened to want to sleep after putting him in a luggage? What?
Upstairs.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally forgetting that he was in the suitcase still.
You forgot your husband who's in a suitcase? Something that's not like a normal thing? It's not like he's in the garage working on a, I don't know, some type of wooden project or something, or watching the game, or playing video games. No, you forgot him in the luggage, of all things.
Because I was awake, but then I finally decided to come downstairs at like 12:30-ish, whatever it is, and I was like, I forgot he was in the suitcase, and he wasn't moving, nothing was happening, so I unzipped it, took him out, and started doing CPR on him.
But Sarah
She's
Boone
lying.
lied. And when police went through her phone, that's when they found the incriminating evidence. In the video, Boone laughs at Torres as he slowly runs out of air.
I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah.
This bitch recorded this shit, left it on the phone. You recorded that? What is wrong with you? What the hell?
Sarah.
During the autopsy, police
Oh,
found
that's
even
sad.
more concerning evidence.
He also had, like on the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on like his head and skull. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's not a way to go, because like I understand she said something that he did some type of domestic violence on her, but bro, there's no need for you to actually like do this to your husband who's you claim is abusive. What you could have done is, I don't know, get sympathy from the internet, and then a lot of people will come to your rescue. The police, people on the internet, simps, women, feminists, men who wants to get with you. Like I'm saying like there's no reason to do this. Like you could have told your parents, if you have parents, if they're alive. You could have told your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? What in your right mind thought not only offing this man but recording it too?
They found evidence of blunt force trauma to the head, skull, shoulders, and back.
Oh,
in that claim, Boone may have been telling the truth. Due to the location of the injuries, police theorized that Boone actually locked Torres in the suitcase while upstairs, then pushed him down the stairs when he was still trapped inside. That would also explain why the suitcase was facing upside down in the video. Allegedly, it was taken after Torres rolled down the stairs. As if she knew she were trapped, Boone changed her strategy.
I've been good. I don't think you all understand. He comes at me all the time.
He's dead. There's nothing you can say.
So it's either I flee or try to go upstairs and go to sleep.
She switched her focus from the night of the murder to Jorge's history of domestic violence, not disclosing her own arrests.
At one point, I started documenting everything.
Okay.
So you all will see in my pictures, bloody fingers, split forehead, he split my nose. I've got this.
You have pictures of this, but you don't send this to the police? Why would you document this if you're not sending this to the police, but you'll throw this man on the stairs? Are you mad?
But when the police confronted her with the suitcase video, she played dumb.
No, I don't remember that.
Wow.
For everything you've done to me.
But investigators were done with being nice.
So you just
I didn't kill him.
You left him there to teach him a lesson?
I didn't mean to leave him there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You listen. You better pipe down those vocal cords, because like you're the one in the hot seat, not me. I don't know why you talking like that. You better leave some bass out of that voice. What are you doing?
How is that not intentionally leaving him there?
Because I'm looking at the hole, knowing that it's there. He'll get out no problem.
You're going to jail, ma'am.
But you don't go check on him. You say you're up for 30 minutes and he doesn't come up. You don't go down and check on him?
I'm in the bed.
Then Boone got even more defensive.
Again,
she's an idiot.
You did.
Not intentionally.
After the interrogation, Boone gave up trying to convince the officers. Considering her obvious frustration during that interrogation, Boone had a surprising reaction to her mandatory prison stay while waiting for trial.
You know, everyone supposes that this is one of the worst experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest.
Oh my God, you're a dangerous individual. You're not even going to admit that you was wrong. You're worse than someone who's trying to lie. You're wrong and strong. That's a horrible individual to deal with. When you're wrong and strong, no, like you're wrong, but you still run as if you're right. That's crazy, and you're wrong. That what makes it worse. I think this says that in the Bible somewhere. It's worse. I think it says that in the Bible somewhere where God says he will punish those who he'll be less harsh on people who don't know who he is than people who know who he is. It's like cult leaders. They know they're sending you to hell unlike the other people who don't know. I'll be more lenient on the people who don't know compared to the people who do know. Like, you know those people are, you're sending those people to their demise. You know this. They don't know this. And for you to know that, you're worse than the person who doesn't know. That's a dangerous individual to deal with. Hey, what's up, bro?
If I were not beaten to death, I was going to work myself to death on the outside, and I
What?
never had time to get back into my Bible and to pray and to be with the Lord.
Yes, now you bring up God. That's very convenient. That's very convenient. Okay. Oh, okay.
However, she claimed Jorge's abuse was the reason she let him suffocate.
I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster, and no matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave.
But you killed him.
I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am.
And hello, everybody. Hello, Anne. And Ivor? If that's the case, then how do you know he's in heaven? Just because he died viciously doesn't mean he's in heaven. A lot of people think this. Like, everyone thinks their loved ones are going to heaven. You gotta stop thinking this way. Sometimes someone has to go to hell, right? If everyone thinks their family member's going to heaven, who's in hell? You think some of my family is going to heaven? Fuck no. You think I'm going? Probably not. I'm just gonna be honest. But to sit there and think that this man's going to be at the pearly gates when you claim he abused you the way you did, that's kind of weird. Why didn't you say, I hope one day if I ever see him, he'll forgive me? Oh, that's crazy. We gotta stop thinking that every loved one we know, just because they seem innocent to us, they're going to heaven. That's bullshit.
Endlessly, and that I never stopped loving him. In all of it, and still.
Next, she made a subtle ploy for pity.
Let's rock.
My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me, please,
Hold
to
up.
brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my face, and fix.
Wait, is that a Guilty Gear reference? I got you.
the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long.
She begged the jury to find her innocent, but while waiting for him to deliberate, Boone made another request to the court.
Miss Boone's request for snacks, your tennis motion is denied. Miss Boone is being provided all the same services as to any other inmate.
Boone would have to go hungry, and she made her dissatisfaction loud and clear. But if she thought that was disappointing, wait until the judge reads her sentence.
Court pronounces sentence as follows. Miss Boone, court sentences you to life.
Boone will spend life behind bars for her crimes.
Alright, guys. We're pretty much done at this point. Okay. We can go play. You ready to play Peak? Mike? If you're not, then we can watch another video till you're ready. It's up to you. How many people are in this thing? Oh god. There's TikTokers. Okay. You should have behaved yourself. Should have got good with God after that. You should have behaved yourself. I mean, actually repent. Not say, oh, God is good and all that shit. I hate when people do that. They say God is good when they do some insane shit. Like, you can't judge me. Only God can judge me. Like, okay, I can't judge you. God can judge you. You're not doing really good in life. I'm pretty sure he's going to judge you harshly. I'm like, so you telling me that doesn't mean anything to me. It's you whose life is going to be totally ruined with your immortal soul. So if you're religious, that's going to be something you should take it with you. But if you're not, then my words go on deaf ears. But like, Jesus Christ, I hate when people do that. They try to find God as soon as shit goes wrong. Let's see. Mike, you here? Yeah, go. You can go check. You can go check. Just let me know, and we can start the game. I'll just play something while we
Before announcing that they were going broke, No Jumper used to be one of the biggest podcasts in hip-hop, with tons of interviews with some of the biggest artists in the last decade. But these interviews don't always go well. From heated arguments, to fights and people getting kicked out, to even somebody pulling a knife, these are some of the most intense moments in No Jumper history. First, one thing that's important to note is that No Jumper's been in a bit of a downward spiral for a while, and
Actually,
one thing they've
I
tried
don't want
to
to hear
do
none of this shit. I actually like the.
This is the famous case of Ruby Frank.
Let me see. You want money? Which people think they can't be. Okay, that's more easier. I'll watch that. That sounds fun.
We all know.
I like these videos are much more enticing to watch to cover those ones. Yeah, I seen it. Saw it just recently, like a few days ago.
Change people, but what happens when girls are born into wealth and never understand that their actions have consequences?
Call my father. No. He
No.
owns the island.
Here are 3 examples of when rich girls thought they were above the law. Starting in New Mexico, police were made aware of a black SUV driving erratically, almost hitting multiple other vehicles. Luckily, it wasn't
I'm ready. I'll ask to see if she's available. Okay.
too difficult for the cops to catch the driver.
Let's
as
give her
own
some time so
ridiculous
she'll say yes or
driving
no.
ended up getting her backed into a corner with barely any persuasion from the cops.
Sergeant.
However, when the cops went to identify the driver, they discovered the last thing they expected.
Well, my name's Officer Saul.
People actually thought the Saja Boys was actually a real thing. Like, there was a real band. They're not. That's disappointed a lot of people.
I'm with the House Police Department, okay? The reason I'm making contact with you is because we got a call in that you're intoxicated driving, okay? Obviously, when I saw you, you just drove onto a curb and almost struck a fence, okay? So I'm gonna need you to step out. Okay?
The driver is clearly out of it and absolutely should not have been driving. However, the most interesting part of this case is that the woman in the car is actually the police sergeant's girlfriend. So the case had to be handed over to a...
Oh! Are you kidding me? What? Oh, that must... Oh my god. Are you kidding me? The shrug.
Apartment due to a conflict of interest, and unfortunately for her, they weren't messing around.
You know it's against the law to be driving under the influence, correct? Okay, you do know that, right? So I don't know why you think you're above the law because of who you're dating. You're gonna get out of the car, I'm gonna have to pull you out. Okay, we're not playing a game like you did with the other officers. Okay? Are you gonna get out of the car?
What game are we playing?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. If this bro does not... If she starts fighting the cops, and he still dates her... I have no problem with her ruining his life. You're an idiot. If you get with this chick, and she starts fighting the police and acting like a fucking idiot, and you still date her, that's your grave, bro. That's your bro.
I'm not playing any game with you. Are you gonna get out of the car? Yes or no?
That goes for boyfriend too. If you're a female cop and you have a boyfriend and he acting like this, and he does some crazy stupid shit in front of you and in front of your other cop friends like this, oh no, bro, no. Get rid of him.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really.
Oh, what the f***?
You're gonna listen. You don't get any favors because who you're dating. You understand that? Don't resist.
I want to stop. I can call all your shit.
Stop.
No.
Yeah, stop. You already messed up. Stop, man.
We're 15.
Boyfriend, the boyfriend's telling her to stop, and she won't stop. Her cop boyfriend, who's on duty with his partner, is literally telling her to stop, and she won't do it.
Stop. Stop.
But this isn't where the insanity ends. What could possibly be worse than driving drunk through residential streets at rush hour? Doing exactly that, but with a baby in the car.
No, not with a baby.
I'm so embarrassed. I tried.
Was the child inside the car? You grabbed the car. You grabbed the kid?
Yeah, I watched him get the kid out of the car. Yeah, I did. As I was pulling
Okay, get the child's information?
Yeah.
Are you, I guess your mom?
Grandma.
Grandma?
I had no clue.
Hello, Deputy Sanchez with the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Are you okay?
That's a lot of
Do you
ass.
need medics to come see you?
She's wearing leather pants. That's a lot
Okay,
of
so they're gonna
ass.
switch out the cuffs, okay?
The cops are trying to do everything they can to treat the woman with respect, but it seems she's just too snide and disrespectful to do the same back, as she immediately starts to pick fights with the officers.
Ready? You. Hey, no. You have to told me. What?
I don't know why he would say that. Go ahead and get
He
up.
said he you.
I don't know why he would
As
say
a
that.
subordinate. Okay, let's go.
Go ahead and get up.
Oh yeah, get rid of her.
Hey,
Go ahead and get up.
get up. No. Ahmad said he you as
Go
your
ahead and
subordinate.
get up.
You're gonna catch more charges. Get
Get
up.
up. No, I don't give a f.
Get up.
You know what?
Yeah.
Get up.
Get in there.
Watch your step. Ready? He told me he you.
Get up.
Jasmine.
Hey, get up.
No, he told me.
Get up. Get in there.
He told Get up. I will you will not. Get in there.
That's enough.
Stop.
That's enough. Now knock it off. I'm not gonna tell you again. You're gonna knock it off. You're not gonna come out here and kick one of my deputies.
Thank you.
Are you gonna stop? Are you going to stop?
For the evidence.
Are you going to now stop? Get up.
No, thank you.
Sit up.
Thank you.
Sit up.
Sit up. No, thank you for the evidence. No, don't you
Get up. Get up.
This one is not that smart.
Huh?
She kicked.
Resisting like this has done nothing but add another charge to her already long list. The cops talk to a couple witnesses and search the car, but the most interesting part of the whole case comes back at the station, where she's made to take a blood alcohol level test. Remember, the woman was driving recklessly while allegedly drunk, carrying a baby on board. If she doesn't pass this, things don't look good for her position not only out of jail, but as a mother.
So first of all, look, we're not going to argue. We can put you back in the unit and take you right to jail.
So we're the ones. She's just getting the door for us. She's just getting the door for us. We're just going there. We're gonna do the test.
He's doing everything.
He's doing
It's
the test.
conflict.
So I'm going to run the test, Desiree. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go.
He's running it. I'm gonna do that.
She's holding the door for us.
Go ahead.
It's conflict.
She's holding the door.
I'm not going to be in there.
She's just holding the door for us, so we can go inside.
I can't do both. I can't.
If I don't pass this,
You said you were going to take the test. Right now we're here. Now it's time to take the test, okay?
I'm telling you, if I
Desiree.
fail, I will not have my
Okay,
kid.
if the machine tones out, we're going to take it as a refusal, and we're just going to take you right over to the jail. A big blow.
Just take a big deep breath as well.
Breathe in real big. Keep going.
Please, Victor.
We still need this second test before we can figure everything out. So in a second, you're going to do the same thing you did already.
The woman's blood alcohol level came back to a 0.36%, 4.5 times over the legal limit, and by all accounts, an extremely dangerous level to be at. Almost all of the
I don't
charts
see the
available-
point of even doing the breathalyzer. I'm pretty sure you can smell it in her voice, in her breath, like as she's speaking. Because when people drink, it has a potency. Especially if you drunk a lot, it will have a potency. So I don't know where they have to do that. If I can smell it off you, then it's too much.
Will show that anything over 0.3% can be deadly. The risk of blood alcohol poisoning and even a coma is extremely high. And frankly, it's a miracle that she's still even conscious. At this point, it's not even just about punishing her for the immense amount of danger she put herself, the public, and her baby in, but it's also about keeping her safe. But even with this in mind, she's still not ready to cooperate.
Where are we going?
To the jail.
I don't want to.
Well, we have to.
I want to go home.
So Desiree, we're going to go now.
If we go home, I'm going to press charges on you.
Okay, that's fine.
Especially because I have evidence.
Okay.
You're a moron. Don't you know that these cops run around with the cameras on their chest? It's like we Westerners forget that there's a camera on their chest, and if they were to turn it off, they're going to be in serious trouble. Unless it was actually damaged. And they can figure out that damage was from the officer or that was or whatever case it be. That, like, those things are pretty hard to destroy. I'm pretty sure. So, no. You're an idiot.
Okay, that's fine.
Come on, we have to take you to the jail.
No.
Stop that.
Yeah.
None of that needs to happen right now.
No.
Okay, no, it doesn't. So we're going to escort you if you don't stand up. Yes, we are.
I'm going to be another victim.
You're
No.
not a victim.
Of what? Victim of what?
Alright, Sanchez. He told me everything. No, he told me everything.
Okay. I don't have a good one either.
He told me he
her.
Okay, and that's their
Before
business, so
drug
stop.
evidence. No, I'm not gonna stop. No.
Go to
I
sit.
will have a whole case. No.
You're about to catch Okay, so we're going to put you in there if you don't go in there. Desiree, you need to listen.
Victor, take me home.
No, can't do that.
Victor, take
So
me
listen,
home.
You're going to listen now, Desiree.
Alright.
Let's go.
Even when she's in handcuffs, she demands her boyfriend to do what she wants. That's crazy. How do you do that? You're the one handcuffs. You're the one being tackled and everything, and you still demand your boyfriend, Victor, take me home. That's crazy.
Let's go.
Listen, Floras. I can't listen to you. Wait.
The arrogance on that is insane.
Put your legs in, Desiree. Desiree, I'm going to go around and put you in.
Desiree,
Okay.
just get in there. Shut up. Just get in there.
It's easier if you follow the instruction and come out.
I'm just telling you I can't.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you one more time.
Why can't you? Are you intoxicated at this time? No? Okay, we'll help you. Come on. Scoot
The
this way.
officers are willing to help you, so I suggest
The
you go that way.
officers?
For the
I'm
third
not
time, I'm
gonna get
asking
off.
you, are you gonna get off? No? I need
No,
you to get
hey,
I need
ow! Come on, ow!
Ow! Ow! Ow!
After receiving medical attention, the woman was charged with aggravated DWI, abuse of a child, 2 counts of battery on an officer, 3 counts of resisting, obstructing an officer, and multiple other driving and misbehavior charges. The only thing it feels
Alright,
like she didn't...
we're done. Alright guys, I'm gonna stop here. I was just waiting on him to get the response. Alright, so with that said, I'm gonna stop it here. We're gonna go play Peek. We're gonna enjoy that. I hope you guys enjoy it too. We're gonna play it on YouTube. I would play it on TikTok, but TikTok and YouTube is just not cooperating. I'm gonna try one more time. If it doesn't work, we're just play on YouTube. You know what? We're just gonna play on YouTube. Fuck it. I'm not even gonna go on TikTok. TikTok pisses me off anyway. So with that, have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next one. We're gonna go play Peek. So if you care about that, just wait for a couple of minutes, or yeah, a couple minutes so I get everything set up, and then we'll be up. You should get the notification. Also, follow my gaming channel and everything else in the link to the description, because soon I'll be moving all my gaming stuff just to there and streaming over there for gaming and stuff like that instead of on this channel, because this is only solely for art. I only do that because I try to promote that gaming channel through the art one, so that's pretty much a good idea to do that. So with that said, I'll be right back. Thank you guys for watching. For those who like the art or the reactions or my commentary and all great stuff, I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in a little bit, in a few minutes. Okay, later guys, bye bye.